Modern here at Gamersworld, brought to you by Serious Business. We'll be your hosts tonight, as always. I'm David Murphy, and this is
Eamon Jones.
And we're going to jump in here right with action. First round, we have on the right Dan Gilligan, and on the left, as usual, Simon Keane. He's been on a couple of nights now.
Yeah, absolutely. He's always playing Abzan, the little kid Abzan, primarily with the Wiltleave Liege, which it's done some insane things.
Especially Souls just seems very well placed at the moment. Dan Gilligan on his Esper brew, kind of Esper control brew. He has the gifts package. He has Lingering Souls and such.
The gifts that keep ungiven, I believe he calls it. That's
what he calls it.
We've
seen him
name.
A couple of times on camera as well here.
He's played around with the list a little bit. He's done some numbers. We might give a call out for that list soon. Let's see. Yeah.
And what the players looking at the openers here, deciding mulligans. I can see Thirst for Knowledge of Verdict. Verdict going to be extremely good for Dan in this game.
And tonight we actually have 25 players in the shop. It's a huge turnout.
Simon leads with Forest Birds and a pass.
Classic opener.
And that's exactly what he wants in this matchup. He needs to build pressure. He needs to force Dan to use those Rod of Gods, chump block with the Lingering Souls in his deck, and keep him off mana that's comfortable to gifts into one of either Iona or Elspeth.
Absolutely.
Though Elspeth not always its most effective if there's a Wiltleave Liege in play.
Yeah, exactly. Now, luckily for this matchup, Dan does have three main board rats.
Rat effects. He has a Verdict and one of each rat, so he can gifts. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, Day of Judgment, Wrath of God, and Supreme Verdict. So he can find those with gifts ungiven and have a Snapcaster Mage with that package as well. But
voice from Dan in response.
Voice
from Simon. And a Thought Scour from Dan to avoid giving that token to Simon.
Yeah. But of course, cards like Voice of Resurgence make these Wrath effects just pretty difficult to implement.
Yeah, they're going to be worse for sure, but it's still something that's very important in this matchup.
Yeah. I think as well what's going to be important is, like you said, the Lingering Souls, and seeing if Simon overextends into this Wrath. Now, there are only 3 in the list.
There's not very many in other decks in this format, so maybe Simon's not used to playing around.
Exactly. And Dan does take a bit longer to deploy them because he has to tutor for them effectively, so he's probably going to take turn. Like, those tutors are pretty expensive.
The tutors make it pretty common that he hits at least one in the game. He has gifts. Gifts is only 4 mana and it's an instant, but the instant will give Simon a elemental token, but elemental will also be out of the way. So it's just a tapped colonnade here by Dan and a passing of the turn.
Oh, he's actually
fetched by Simon.
He's cut it down to 2 gifts ungiven.
2 gifts?
Yeah, 2 gifts ungiven and 1 mystical.
He has a lot of card selection with the Thought Scours and the Snapcasters.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's what he's really getting at. He's just like, I get to turn properly my graveyard into a toolbox.
And here's the Wiltleave Liege from Simon off untapped Godless Shine, taking 2 off it. And he's going to bash in for 4 with the voice with the help of the Wiltleave Liege's ability.
And this is the strength of this card. It's just deploying so much power onto the field, and usually people aren't really prepared for it. They're prepared for kind of going wide with things like Young Pyromancer and that, but just this 4/4, the 3D Resilient, comes back with another token. The token is also green and white. It's a big deal.
I'm not seeing any removal from Dan here at the moment. Here's a Glacial Fortress in his hand that's probably going to come into play tapped. I'm not seeing the Path of Exiles in his list at the moment. I could be wrong. But
Glacial Fortress won't come into play tapped because of the Shockland he has in play.
That's a Hallowed Fountain. My apologies. It's not a Seachrome Coast.
Oh, sure.
I thought I just got the art confused. A lot of the blue-white lands having very similar colour patterns.
Absolutely. So
Dan just posturing over his turn. I think he has a Lingering Souls there, and he's thinking of deploying that. But spending this turn playing Lingering Souls just to have them both block 4/4s mightn't seem like the best. But anything that buys him turn to these Rod of Gods.
Absolutely. Sometimes
he just plays Fortress and passes his turn. Back to Simon. Simon takes a draw.
Looks like he's got a Thirst for Knowledge down as well in hand.
Yeah, but now he's going to be triggering voice tokens, but that could mean nothing if he has one of those 3 Rod of Gods in his hand.
Yeah. Path to Exile as well is an excellent one against Voice of Resurgence. He has 4 of them in the main. Hopefully
Birds coming into the red zone here, being a 1/2.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And here we see a Snapcaster.
Just a block, is it? Oh, well, he gets the Thought Scour, sure.
I think we encountered this last week. That doesn't trigger the voice, right?
No. Yeah, it's only instant and sorceries. Oh, only instant, sorry. Because, of course...
I have to find out how that card is worded. If our producer Alex could bring it up, but yeah, I don't think it triggers.
Yeah.
I think Simon's asking maybe to do something before blocks, or is he taking it?
He's got a.
I think he's just passing it. No, he's letting him go to blocks.
Yeah. So that's 5 damage coming in.
Yep.
But I mean, if I'm Simon, I gotta feel pretty decent about this.
The play your birds is pretty decent here. He doesn't really care if that card gets ratted away. It's not something he's going to unload with.
Now here we see the.
Here's a miss trigger. Simon forgetting to get the.
Okay. Well, he's got a tap and. Yeah.
Okay, they're allowing to go back, but yeah, it's very obvious because Dan had to rat and didn't care. That token's still going to be in play. And it still means that Dan might take
some
three or 4 damage here.
Yep.
Depending if there's an untapped land. Another voice is pretty good.
Voice, abrupt decay. It's then 2 lands.
There's a path to exile in there as well, and yeah. So, sorry, we're just getting the voicing of word from our producer here. Whenever an opponent casts a spell during your turn, voice of resurgence or voice of resurgence dies, you get it. So Snapcaster would trigger.
Okay, absolutely. Okay, that's really interesting.
So in for 2 here. Simon keeping up the pressure and passing the turn back.
But I suppose it's one of those catches where
Pat straight away here by Dan not wanting to mess around.
Yeah.
Not being able to play spells. Simon not searching. Maybe he's got all his basics, but it looks like he might have forgot to trigger there.
Yeah, definitely.
Kazari Pride Mage is going to let him get in for 3 with it being a creature and the Exalted trigger.
Absolutely. So going to get 3 damage in probably. Oh, we see a Mana Leak here. It's well placed.
Mana Leak is pretty good. Something he could have avoided if he had searched for the land.
No.
Yeah, because he has another land in hand, so if he would have searched,
oh, you're right,
played his land for the turn, that
or he could have had the awkward. I didn't play my land.
Also, yes, the classic your pats, your Mana Leaks are much worse when pats.
Yeah.
Are in your deck. You know, like still essential to play both of them, but those Mana Leaks will get worse throughout the game if your prime mode of removal is letting your opponent fetch lands. And yes,
Okay.
Simon,
So he's fetching
remembering this time.
Well, that's fine. His deck should be able to function off fire. Like, it is marginal, the filtering of his deck.
It's more, as I said, to make those Mana Leaks useless.
Absolutely.
Like he made a Mana Leak a free removal spell where it shouldn't have been.
Sure.
We're going to get an update on the life totals for you, but Dan has definitely taken at least 12 points of damage so far in this game. He's probably as low as 8. Oh, he's lower. He's on 5. And Simon's still at a healthy 17, but of course damage not the way that
this game plays out.
Yeah, it's not the way Dan's aiming to win. He's winning in 1 or 2 turns by locking someone out of the game or erasing someone and getting enough card advantage. We know that Dan's holding his Sphinx's Rev, so that 5 life was seeming low. You know, Simon doesn't have any aerial burn. He has Rhinos, which can be countered and reacted to, and that Sphinx's Rev is probably going to come down soon. Really getting Dan a bit of life.
Yeah, really surprising from Dan with this kind of graveyard strategy he has going. He has no Tassigers in the main. He's got 3 on the side. I would have liked at least 1 or 2. Maybe his deck couldn't fit it. He feels like he has to have a lot of answers.
He is trying to jam a lot of things into the deck, so I guess you have to choose. If you're having Tassigars in, do you cut the... here's a wealth lead from Simon. Do you cut the gifts package? You know, there has to be some sort of selection. Just reading what the other ability is. It does have the Luxus and Hierarch if it gets Smiter if it gets discarded ability.
Yeah.
There's no uncounterable or something on this guy.
No. So
though I guess Luxus and Smiter also has uncounterable, so not the best example I could give.
Yes.
But yeah, it has the if discarded go Ravenous Bailout.
Yes.
Trigger.
So we're going to see a Thirst for Knowledge. This is a funny thing. Dan has no artifacts in his main deck. So this is always draw 3, discard 2 at instant speed.
Just card selection more than anything.
Absolutely.
Not advantage for him.
Well, it kind of is, because he gets to use his graveyard in a certain way. He gets his 4 Snapcaster Mages, he gets to use Lingering Souls.
He can.
It's a really interesting deck. And
it is, but I still wouldn't see it as strict card advantage. Like, you can use it as a resource, but when do you start counting that resource as an additional card, you know what I mean?
Well, when you have Burial Rites in your graveyard, it's certainly a thing.
And Burial Rites is still a whole card.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It's hard to calculate. It definitely isn't bad for Dan. It's just I wouldn't call it his strict card advantage.
Sure.
Otherwise, we're calling his Thought Scours 1 mana ancestral
Ancestral
recall. Yeah, it's just recalls.
Why not? Go for it.
attack 4 or 5 here from the Will to Leave Leech.
Snapcaster Path.
Snapcaster, probably a Path to Exile. Certainly not a mana leak.
No, absolutely not.
And that Dan in firm control of the game, as we said, still has a Sphinx's Rev in hand to buffer his life. Full graveyard, full grip. It's hard to see him losing from this point. There's not many hard to deal with threats Simon can deploy anymore.
This is definitely the way that Dan has made the deck. He'd love, I'd say, pay an arm and a leg to be able to play 6 to 8 Snapcaster Mages.
Yeah, for sure. That turned out that mana leak, that
absolutely, it was a
Mage
turning
got
point.
mana leaked was a big turning point. Just being able to 1-for-1 2 threats instead of maybe just kill 1 threat that turn is big.
Simon with Kitchen Finks off the draw. He still has Abrupt Decay in hand.
Yeah, the problem is a couple dead cards in hand here from Simon and Abrupt Decay and Pat. They are going to stop Dan from winning faster, but those removal spells are not what you want against the control deck. You want more pressure.
Yeah.
Finks, a nice resilient threat, and that Path to Exile isn't in the graveyard anymore, so... And here the Sphinx is out. For 4, if I'm counting right?
There is still a Path to Exile in the graveyard.
Oh, it's under that polluted delta.
Yeah, he cast 2, so...
Yeah. So, Finks maybe can still be 1-for-1, but that's the kind of threat you want in this matchup. Brazilian like that, Rod of God's not going to get that Finks if he wants to.
Absolutely.
Still going to blow it. I don't like no attack there. I like attacking first.
Yeah.
Free. I know the damage doesn't matter, but give your opponent a chance to misplay.
Yeah, look, he tapped the Snapcaster like, yeah, I should have attacked with this first.
I'm not proud enough to not take free damage whenever I can.
Absolutely.
I'm not too proud, even if that's not how I'm winning. I'll take that free damage every time. Here's the Lingering Souls, and he's looking to lock up the game.
Yeah. Lingering Souls doing a good version of definite card advantage, all on one card.
That's definite card advantage on one card, sir.
I would play Aiden in every deck in Modern.
Every deck. It's well positioned at the moment.
Yeah,
it helps him specifically fight other Lingering Soul decks, which are going to be tough for him to beat otherwise.
Yeah, a good answer to Lingering Souls is Lingering Souls, but
yeah, for sure.
Against Simon's deck, his Lingering Souls get buffed. He's got
he has Will to Leave, he has Hierarchs.
He has the Gavany Township.
Does have Township as well. Township will be pretty important in this matchup.
Yes.
Making inauspicious creatures into threats is pretty important.
So he's going to Abrupt Decay one of the tokens. He feels like that's the best use he's going to get out of this decay.
Yeah, it pretty much is. Outside killing a Snapcaster that's going to town on a life total.
Yeah.
Like this is going to be the best use, keeping that Kitchen Finks alive. But that Lingering Soul is probably going to be flashback, and then there's 3 blockers for that Finks. That Finks is pretty useless, but I don't mind the use of the card.
Scour again. And we can see that splayed out, like the splayed out graveyard. It's doing a pretty good impression of card advantage, especially when we see a Think Twice and a Lingering Souls going into graveyard. That is card advantage, sir.
That was card advantage, but do you count the Lingering Souls and the Think Twice as a card each, or do you count them as half a card, since if you would have cast them for their full cost?
I would count Think Twice definitely as a full card, because
you're getting an actual full card.
getting an actual full card.
It's just hard. I'm not saying he's not getting gradual card advantage. I'm not willing to admit that his Thirst for Knowledge is strict card advantage over card selection.
I'd say because of the way he's built his deck, specifically to benefit from Thought Scours, yes.
Okay.
Especially later on when he gets to bring in Tassigers, that Thought Scour effectively says gain 3 mana, draw a card, and hopefully put 2
I've never
out.
seen a Rest in Peace be any better in the modern game.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know what Dan's deck does against it. He has spells. I'm sure he has spell snares to counter it though.
But I think as well that this is another one of these things where graveyard decks are kind of underrepresented right now in Modern, and Dan's kind of abusing that fact. Now, maybe not to the biggest degree that it could be, but you know.
They're not underrepresented because they're underrepresented as in there's no Dredge or there's no Reanimator deck.
Do you like the double block here?
Well, it has to be because of the Hierarch trigger.
So he's going to path one of them, take the other.
Why not have Simon run out of cards? You have 4 or 5 left in hand. Simon has 1. If he wants to waste cards on it's not waste, he has to, but if technically waste cards on killing Lingering Souls, I think that's absolutely fine with Dan.
Especially when you have the other one in your graveyard.
Yeah, there's another Lingering Souls coming up. There's no cards in his hand. You gotta think twice. This Murderous Cut is going to come down and save one of the Lingering Souls tokens.
Absolutely.
And you might as well. There's no cards left in his hand.
And we can see specifically as well, he's just getting rid of lands.
He's going to start going on the offensive here. He has a colonnade. He can finish this game in 4 or 5 swings, like less even.
I think twice as well, drawing him a card.
It was a Swamp and Elishnorn.
Hard cast Elishnorn.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see Simon scoop them up here.
He does have
There's
answers.
a very small percentage of his deck that isn't just completely turned off now.
He does have answers. He does have Path to Exile.
Well, that Pat playing last turn looks bad now, but I don't think Simon can expect the hard cast.
Elishnorn, yeah.
I don't think he can play around that, to be honest.
Let's see.
On a mistake by him. And the Colonnade and the tokens and the Elishnorn are probably going to finish off the game next turn.
Very quickly.
Yeah, I think it's lethal as it stands. 4 from the Elishnorn,
yeah, he's
4
seen
from
enough.
the tokens and 6 from the Colonnade.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was a very good display by Dan. His deck very smoothly took control of that game.
Yeah. Just one wrap.
Again, the Modern, if you make that one small mistake, it can punish you. Maybe with some other formats, it's more forgiving, but I feel that Dan probably would have won that game anyway. But that one
mana leak, not getting
the mana leak, that would have probably been a dead card in this game. Becoming live is big.
So from Dan, he's got in his sideboard 3 Tassiger, 1 Jace Architected Thought, 1 Lingering Souls, 2 Negate, 3 Dispel, 1 Fracturing Gust, 1 Murderous Cut, 3 Line of Sanctity. So I like the 1 Murderous Cut. You're playing against a creature deck. If you can kill their hierarchs, it just makes a lot of their creatures worse.
I'm not too sure actually about the cut. Like, it does seem good, but you already got 4 Pats and a cut in your main deck, right?
Sure, but there's a lot of dead cards in your main.
A couple other cards create card advantage, like Voice and like
Absolutely.
Souls. So you don't actually want to overload on too much 1-for-1 removal.
Sure.
I'm a fan of the Tazagars here because they block a lot
Everything.
of the creatures. Yeah. Not everything. Like the one Bleach does mess up things, but like
figuratively.
One-on-one it takes on most things.
The one I'm interested in, what do you think of the Jace?
The Jace is traditionally there for Lingering Souls, but I don't know how good it is in this matchup. The thought is that a lot of your removal is going to take out the big creatures, and that sometimes Simon can win the game with small creatures. Jace isn't as good if they have townships as well, but I kind of like the one Jace here.
Yeah. The extra Lingering Souls, he has 3 in the main, he's got another in the side. What do you think of the 4th one?
It's going to block big guys, it's going to buy him turns. I don't mind it. I think it comes down to how much he actually wants to cut here. I think Dan has a luxury of sideboard options, and he's going to look at his main deck and think what's actually useful. For example, does he still want Iona afterboard? Like, is it Elishnorn just what he wants to do? Like, Iona cutting off green is pretty or white is pretty powerful. Because white gets Pat and it gets stuff like Rhino.
And she blocks everything, yeah.
She blocks a lot. She's a finisher. At the same time,
you have to cut something, and I don't think she's at her best.
She's not affecting the board is the problem. Like, if you take over the game, she'll lock out the game, and maybe that's the reason he wants to keep him in to keep Simon off stuff like Lingering Souls and crawling back into the game or card advantage. But I don't know. I can see that Iona now hanging out on the sideboard. I think he's agreeing with me.
He's definitely taken out the Negate, I'd say, anyway.
He's going in between a Cryptic command here. I think he thinks that Cryptic might be a bit too slow.
Sometimes Cryptic stopping one attack is all you need.
Or does he have a Cryptic in his board?
He's got 1 Cryptic in his main.
So I don't know. He has a Cryptic held up in his board here and a Mystical teachings, which I can see that being sideboard out again.
It's
maybe a bit too slow.
Very, very slow.
It's for more grindy. If this was normal Abzan, I'd have it in, but
and we can see the Negate coming out as well.
Yeah, nearly for sure. Again, it does get Lingering Souls though, so.
But it gets half.
Here we go. We're gonna see the mana leaks. Obviously not great.
Negate, Mystical Teaching, and Cryptic.
I don't know if I agree with the Cryptic, but maybe
he's bringing
all the Tazagars. And you're right, Murderous Cut and Lingering Souls.
Well, we'll see if I'm right. It's because he does have Smiters. He does have the Wiltleaf Leashes.
1-for-1 is still good. It's just that Simon does have 8 cards in his deck that Murderous Cut doesn't care about, and that can sometimes be scary. But I guess. You have Lingering Souls. He didn't bring in the Jace, but he has his own Lingering Souls to try and fight Simon's.
That's it.
And he has the Rad of Gods, so Simon can't overextend.
And I imagine he's pretty happy as well with the rest of his deck, depending on getting him the advantage, getting him back in. You know, sometimes just 1-for-1 removal is what you need.
Yeah, for sure. We don't have Simon's board here. He hasn't updated his list in a while, but what's very interesting is how much removal Simon's going to keep in his deck. So those decays are nearly certainly coming out for something. But how many Pats to keep in? Because Simon saw the Elishnorn, so is aware that there's probably some kind of gifts package in there.
but they're not good against Snapcaster Mage, and they're not good against the Lingering Souls that we saw. I'll actually be interested to see if he has a Maelstrom Pulse. Because
I'm not sure. I haven't seen that in his list in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I don't think he does.
Classic.
He might in the board.
Yeah, because it's classically good against Lingering Souls.
So it's going to be hard. It makes the Tazagars interesting because usually in control bringing in something like that is very safe because they take out the removal. That's traditionally how you sideboard. Yeah. But because he's seen the Elishnorn in the last game, he's probably going to keep in some momentum paths, which makes those Tazagars slightly worse. Still a good card, but not as good as maybe they be in a more traditional control sense.
Absolutely.
There's also cards, as I was joking about, but are very relevant. If Simon has a couple of Rest in Peace in his board, Rest in Peace will be king in this matchup, hindering Dan's ability to even cast spells off the board.
Turns off Snapcaster Mage, turns off
Tazagar, paying full 6 with Tazagar, he's not a very good magic card. Turning off his ability completely, he's just a 4/5 for 6 mana.
Lingering Souls, all of these.
We saw him hard cast in Elishnorn, but that's not always what he has mana for either. Turning off that plan, making Gifts Ungiven terrible.
Yeah. The whole point of Gifts Ungiven is you're meant to get value from the cards into your hand and the cards into your graveyard, or to set up an Unburial Rites package.
Mostly it's for the Unburial Rites package. Sometimes it sets up a very bad tutor. But here we get Simon with the classic start of Forest into Noble Hierarch. Fetching just a basic Forest. He could have fetched, taking the full tree is not a big deal against Dan. Dan just polluted dealt in the pass. Simon with a draw for his turn, considering his second play.
I'd know a tutor where you get 2 cards is it's pretty sweet.
Thoughtseize here off an untapped Godless Shrine. So
solid card.
Maybe this is why Simon is deciding not to take the damage off the Verdant Catacombs for an untap, because he would have taken 5-7 damage before anything's done. And you know what, Dan can still win with calling 8s and flyers pretty fast, but I don't know if that's something he needs to be overly concerned about.
Yeah.
And Pluto Delta just taking one, taking one and just fetching up Island, and I see Thought
Scour.
Yeah, names are escaping me today, sorry.
And here's the weird one as well. Classically, Thoughtseize has been pretty decent against most control lists, but because Dan's deck is so graveyard centric, it's not great.
Oh, it could not be. 2 Tazagars and a Murderous Cut. I was about to say it's not great because you can take a Tazagar, but taking a Tazagar is a redundancy here. It's just going to fuel the second Tazagar. You really want to take the counter spell here.
Yeah. And if we look, Dan's setting up for turn 2 Tazagar.
Or maybe a Murderous Cut. Taking Murderous Cut isn't bad here. Yeah, there's definitely going to be a turn 2 Tazagar here. And now we're going to see if Simon kept in the pats. If Simon did keep in the pat, taking a Tazagar and patting a Tazagar is a good way to have Dan's hand do absolutely nothing.
Take some pressure off, absolutely.
So he's taking here, and whatever he takes here is going to be very revealing to his hand.
Yeah. This is kind of as well. So we have Gavany Township, a Lingering Souls, a Birds of Paradise, and a Voice of Resurgence. None of those are removal for Tazagar.
No, the Souls in the Township is scary though.
Sure.
So if you're going to take a cut here, attack for 1, maybe cast the Souls next turn.
Takes away the couple. Sure.
Yeah. So he still is a threat. That Tazagar isn't faster. Here's a Voice.
Absolutely.
That Tazagar probably isn't faster than the Voice into Lingering Souls getting pumped each turn.
Correct.
And Dan is most likely going to spend the turn cracking, paying a Tazagar for 1 and keeping up a Spell Snare. But that Spell Snare not having any good targets left in Simon's hand at the moment.
And who would have thought that, and especially Simon with these ramp creatures, with these mana dorks, getting out of Spell Snare range as well, a lot of his spells,
you kind of still have to have them in, because that Voice of Resurgence, no matter how well he dealt with it last game, it's still a pain. It's not the end of the world, it's just a nice efficient creature. So I think having them in is still good, and as I said, you have to respect Rest in Peace out of these white decks, but by the way, it's going to be pretty bad here for the rest of the game.
Here's how good Lingering Souls is. It is almost single-handedly invalidating a turn 2 4/5 creature. Yeah. Welcome to modern Magic, everyone.
For sure. And there's a decision here whether to dedicate that Bird to the board. It's nearly absolutely yes. Dan's a very long way off casting Rod of God.
Well, the question is, did he draw a land? He did.
He gets to go land, Birds, and
Lingering Souls.
And Lingering Souls the next turn, pump them all, and Dan's in a bad position.
Yeah, because he, at best, he Dan can go land, pass turn, land.
He has think
Wrath of God.
yeah. At very best, and then you can still have a Lingering Souls to reload in your graveyard. So I think Simon in a very good position here. Gets 2 Lingering Souls tokens. You know, before you tap, you got to make that attack furiously with that voice.
You think so?
Yeah, Giant Growth blow him out, man.
Giant Growth, getcha.
Double mutagenic. Didn't see it coming.
What?
So next turn, I think that is another land in Simon's hand, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe it's a black-white one. So
okay, sure. So he is going to get to pump next turn. His team is going to get huge, and he's going to get in for 5 in the air.
Mm-hmm. Well, he already gets a bump. He's got 5 mana on the table.
Yeah, but he also gets to swing at the birds.
Oh, sure. That extra 1 damage.
It's relevant. There's a white mana and a Lingering Souls of his own. It's not actually going to stem the bleeding here, as it's like 2 tokens are going to trade for 1 of Simon's. Simon can also just elect not to attack this turn. What's that he drew?
Is that an Abrupt Decay?
It'd be weird if it was an Abrupt Decay. Maybe he didn't have enough to sideboard out if that Abrupt Decay is still there.
Sometimes happens.
Yeah, that's very true. Is it
He's
a
got
Ghost Council?
He's
No,
got
it's a Foilix and Smiter.
Okay, and he's got a Windswept Teeth in hand.
So I would not dedicate that Smiter to the board.
No.
Like, Dan is probably going to have to Wrath of God sooner or later with his board position, unless he has some kind of Maelstrom pulse effect, but that does take out his own tokens as well. The question is here, does Simon wait a turn to attack? I don't think so, because either way you're looking at the same trade next turn when there's 4 Lingering Souls on
Dan
Dan's.
putting 2 on the 1.
Well, he has to because of the pump.
Yeah.
So next turn he's not going to get to do the same.
Yeah. But this as well shows how Dan wants to dictate this fight. He doesn't want to.
I think it's the only good block he has is the thing.
Yeah. He doesn't want to keep land. He doesn't want to keep his damage or his life total. He wants to.
Well, he needs to control the board. Yeah, just preserving his life would be pretty bad. It also probably means he doesn't have a rat in hand.
Absolutely.
But as I said, a rat's still not very good for him. Simon ending up with a voice token and flashing back to Lingering Souls straight after. So we're back to Dan's 4th turn here. Only the 4th turn by Dan, by the way.
And this Tasker not doing much.
Tasker not doing much at all. This is why I said he's probably good, but like Simon's a different kind of creature deck. Lingering Souls completely changes the dynamic of this. We're going with a main phase. Think twice to play around that Voice of Resurgence. Those spirits should not be in Dan's graveyard. That's irking me slightly. Up might represent a Pat to exile here. Yeah, we're going Pat straight away. He doesn't want to give an extra elemental token away. I'd wager.
Yeah, it's kind of what you got to do, especially because he doesn't have the black mana up to flashback Lingering Souls. You pick back up. Yeah, okay.
They need to get those tokens out of the graveyard.
Yeah,
and he's going to get the Lingering Soul might be a better target here, which is very strange. Like, which is not something you see regularly. Or birds might be good because then you're also taking off mana. Usually you snap take a voice here.
Yeah,
that's what Pat's designed for, but the voice isn't what's killing you.
And he's saying that retroactively Pat's Exile was designed as a voice for, or as a answer to Voice Resurgence.
Yeah, for sure.
They knew.
Zach Hill couldn't design that far ahead if he tried, sir.
Pretty cool. He's a genius.
He didn't even build Valakut.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, he's taking the voice. The voice is eventually just going to become a 5/5 or a 6/6. It's going to have to be dealt with eventually, so why not here? And he can get in for damage with the Tasker if he wants, but then the Hierarch is freed up for an attack.
Yeah. Plus as well,
Simon just a bit of short quitting here, fetching with the Windswept at the same time.
That Voice of Resurgence it does a kind of impression of Teferi. You know, I mean, it just kind of makes you not want to ever play anything on their turn, and Dan's deck is kind of dedicated to doing that, so...
It does, as I said, Dan has the luxury of rats, though.
Yep.
So, he gets to do something on your turn and rot away your board, and that's fine.
But, so and as well...
We're just getting a pass the turn to Simon here.
And as well, this turn, I mean... Let's see, he doesn't really get to swing in with the Noble Hierarch because of Tassiger. So he gets to get in for 5 damage in the air. He
gets to tap the Noble Hierarch for birds here and activate a township again.
Okay.
I think committing the birds to the board again is absolutely fine if you're flashing back the Lingering Souls. You could consider keeping it.
Yeah, it's not too big a deal.
You could consider keeping it, but I like playing it here. You're not using Noble Hierarch mana. You're already putting him under some pressure, even if he flashes back that Lingering Souls. We're going to get an attack here from the flying creatures.
The flyers come in.
And here comes the pump.
What I feel is one of the most interesting mechanics in Magic.
Flying.
Flying. Simply flying. Just changes the game. Adds a new dimension to a lot of creatures.
It's kind of an intuitive
Yeah,
thing, but at its time, I guess it's very...
I think still, compared to other card games, it's still something that just adds a lot. So he's getting...
What do you think of super flying?
Super flying? 100%. I'm on board.
High fly.
I believe it's just called unblockable. So.
It's high fly.
High
High flyers can block high flyers. Unblockables can't block unblockables.
I believe so, yeah. I believe that's what they've said.
And here we get a flashback of Lingering Souls by Dan. He's picked up another Path to Exile here, I think. That's what I can see. Path and a Spell Snare for his turn.
Pathing a mana dork doesn't feel great.
No, it doesn't. But we're just going to get an attack from flyers again, and there's going to be a pump in this Gavany Township taking over the game. No sign of any kind of Tectonic Edge or Ghost Quarter from Dan.
To deal with that.
We earmarked this. Lingering Souls is usually a pretty good answer for Lingering Souls, but not if a township is getting activated.
Yeah, unfortunately, Dan does not have any of those sort of land destruction lands.
You are 3 colours and casting stuff like
and he's got
Sphinx's Rev
and he's got Celestial Colonnade and Creeping Tar-Pit already, so it's kind of difficult.
Pat on a token here. Let's see if there's any more basics left in Simon's deck.
What's happening?
He's using his sideboard cards as tokens.
Excellent.
That should not be allowed. We could just get our producer for him not to. That's what leads to game losses. But
well, it is regular. There's no game losses, but yeah, I know.
Yeah, you know what I mean. If he shuffles that in instead, or that's in his graveyard instead, that can lead to that. What's irreversible game state is? I said that's like really hard to. Like,
yeah.
If you would delve with that. Anyway, there's another basic in Simon's deck, and here's another pump from the Gavany Township. Again, no good blocks really here from that Lingering Soul token, just on chumping duty. It's going to take another 2 off the Birds of Paradise. I'm going to get the life totals up in a second for you guys. That one of those birds is going to be a 4/5 next turn.
And Dan missing land drops, and we can see that second Tassiger just dying in his hand.
Yeah, the second Tassiger was never going to be very good. Like, that first Tassiger was very unlikely to die. And if it was going to die, Simon would have taken the second one with the Thoughtseize.
Absolutely. And even now he can actually swing in with Noble Hierarch. I know it doesn't do anything, but...
He just sets up a free double block by Dan.
Sure.
You don't want to give him that free double block to get rid of a creature that is going to be big enough just to attack by itself next turn.
That's true.
You're in no rush. You're in no rush to play. You're in no rush to put him away here at all. That Gavany Township, a big pain that Dan can't deal with. Dan's missing on drops. You still have a Lingering Souls in that graveyard. Here's a Snapcaster and probably a pat for one of those Birds of Paradise. Always feels great patting a Birds of Paradise.
I imagine he's pumping his fist inside.
That's what that card was created for. That interaction. Snapcaster Pat was there to kill Birds of Paradise that are swinging.
So you can get your land, which kind of does what Birds does. Not in this deck, of course, but in general.
We're probably going to see another... There mightn't be another activation here. He might be content to nip in. And then play is that a Wilt Leaf in his hand?
I believe he's got a Wilt Leaf.
If Dan, again, rats, he has a Smiter to play. No, it's a Smiter. Sorry, it's still that
No,
Smiter.
he's got a Smiter and a Wilt Leaf. So
if he plays the Smiter here, next turn he gets to play, like if there's a rat, he gets to play a Wilt Leaf and Flashback Lingering Souls. There would have to be double rat for this to punish him. The life totals at the moment are Simon on 14 and Dan on 9. Dan getting low in that bird. Maybe it is next turn it's definitely correct to pump the bird, because then next turn you turn it into a 3-turn clock if there's no blocks.
Absolutely.
So you want it in intervals of 3 from here on out, or intervals of 5 to shorten the clock. But this is getting very interesting.
See, I think
another misland drop, I think, by Dan here?
Yeah, looks like it. Simon might be... we have a Spell Snare as well, not doing much either.
Yeah, Simon has seen it as well, so can just play around it for the rest of the game. On top of not that many 2-drops being in the deck besides Voice.
You said a land drop, but it's not doing much. So we're going to see... if Simon does drop the Wilt Leaf, he gets a 6/6 and a 3/4 in the air.
Is that 2 Wilt Leaves in his hand?
Could be.
No, he's just going to attack and pump. He's going to keep those Wilt Leaves.
What do you think of the attack? Oh wait, no, the Noble Hierarch would be still the same.
Yeah, he didn't pump last turn, so that Noble Horror can't get in. There's a free double block here on the Smiter.
Unless
The thing is, why I don't like committing to Smiter that much, and why I don't like the attack with ground creatures is because there's another Tazagar in his hand. You're just giving him a free spell to play. That is a dead spell. At the moment, Simon's doing a good job and making it so that Dan has 2 dead spells with a Smiter and with a Tazagar and a Spell Snare in his hand. But if he starts making blocks like this, it's freeing up spells to play at Dan's.
Absolutely.
Dan's hand. It's not great.
So let's see.
Though that Tazagar isn't at full discount yet.
Yeah, if Simon has the removal spell.
I wouldn't use it if I was Simon. I'd pump and I'd assign all my damage to Snapcaster Mage, maybe. I don't know, maybe you have to take the kill on the Tazagar so he's forced to spend black mana next turn.
Yeah.
Like, he's still forced to spend mana, I guess. He's just passing priority.
Do you just not pump, keep that Tazagar in his hand and just be like, screw you, not giving you the benefit?
Yeah, that's exactly what he's done here. He's just going to be able to cast the second Tazagar anyway.
He's got a Smiter and 2 Wiltleaf Lieges?
I thought it was...
Wow.
It's at least 1. I think he's... Again, this Smiter not doing... If you're... Yeah, I think you might as well pump then. But I guess he just wants to make this Smiter a 5/5 and then a 6/6. I don't mind this line. Is that a Cryptic in Dan's hand? In for 4 and probably a Rod of God here. Rod of God into a Tazagar. Yeah, might as well pump.
He's like, yeah, sure. Supreme Verdict.
Supreme Verdict.
Do what? Yeah. No need for
I don't
characters.
think he noticed what was on board. And it's going to be another Tazagar here. So I guess this is why you had to kill the Tazagar when that block was made?
Sure.
But the same sequence happens this turn anyway.
Absolutely.
It's the exact same sequence either way. So now we're going to get a Will to Leave and a flashback of Lingering Souls. Nearly for sure. Let's see if Simon remembers of the Lingering Souls in his yard.
Let's hope so. Does not.
Does not or chooses not to commit it. I think he's forgotten though. I think playing Lingering Souls there is very good.
Yeah. Gets you next turn 6 damage in the air.
Yeah.
Which,
Wild Man is only on 9 as far as I know.
wow. That would have been a big play.
Yeah, it feels like there's 2 plays so far made in these games, and Dan maybe should have been in a losing position on both, but instead is finding himself in a winning position. I guess that Tazagar can't profitably block that Wiltleaf unless he has a removal spell as well.
Yep. So we have a compulsive research from Dan. Draw 3 cards, discard 2 cards unless you discard a land.
He's just asking a question about his card here. Did he do something wrong?
I hope not.
I thought I only saw him draw 3. I don't know if this can play here or something.
Let's see. Alex is pretty diligent anyway. I'm pretty sure he would have called if there's any problem. But no, I think he just has to make a decision now.
I think he's just been asked a question. Getting some thinking anyway. Maybe there is a judge call.
It could also be that he has a land in hand, but he's got the Iona still. Is that? Yeah.
Yeah, I thought I saw him. Oh, he's asking, can he discard anyway?
And he's got non-burial rights.
So he's just asking, could he discard Iona anyway?
Why couldn't he?
Because he discarded a land.
Oh.
So I think you can choose to, yes.
Okay. That's really
There's a Scavenging Ooze by Simon.
Wow.
But he knows about the spell snare in his hand.
Sure.
So that's not going to work unless he has another 2 to bait it out with. An attack here though, and a pump. An attack and a pump might force some action from Dan, meaning he might run out of blue mana. So I would.
He's looking at the second Wiltleaf Liege as his way of putting extra power onto the table.
Yeah, again, different ways of making Dan tap out of blue mana here. That Iona isn't going to do that much if there's a board state. And
how big's Iona? It's a 7/7?
7/7 flyer. He definitely has to chump here.
And Iona doesn't do so good against 2 7/7s.
Yeah, for sure. And here's, it needs to be countered, spell snare. And will he remember he doesn't have mana for the Lingering Souls this turn.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
It happens, everyone forgets about their flashback cards every now and again, but this time it's been big. Here's no burial rights for Iona. There's two 8/8s in play, right? No, they're both 6/6s.
Yeah. So he gets to pump them up, make them 7/7s this turn. But unless he can put out...
If this Lingering Souls was remembered, this game would have been over 2 turns ago. This is
absolutely
a bit unfortunate. Dan getting a tiny bit lucky here. Not that he's not playing well. Just for a note for the people at home that Iona's naming white, which it will traditionally do. Oh, that's interesting.
Noble Hierarch, I believe, was the draw.
So the choice is to put your opponent to 2 and kill the Iona, or kill the Iona and have 2 Will to Leave in play.
I think since this deck has so little burst, I think you've got to kill the Iona.
Well, either way, it's going to kill the Iona. Is the thing, the attack. It's just, do you want to? Oh, and I guess Dan can go to 1 because it only becomes an 8/8. I'll just confirm if Dan's on 8 or 9 here. Just get the producer to check because that's important. If Dan's on 8 here, this actually becomes very interesting. So if Dan's on 8, he can pump. No, he's just going to get into 2. So it's not a question. He's just gonna. Dan's going to have to trade with 1, and 1's going to get in for 7.
What's really interesting is, once again, if he didn't play this Noble Hierarch...
Yeah, it's still 9. Dan's still on 9. I thought he might have cracked another land in the meantime. That land is milled, not cracked. Oh, the blowout with the Path to Exile. This was another big reason why you could have only attacked with 1. This blowout doesn't happen. But this game ended when Lingering Souls wasn't flashed back 3 or 4 turns ago.
Yeah, just Simon forgetting about it.
Yeah, maybe I'm missing something. I'm pretty sure he didn't flash back to Lingering Souls, right?
Yeah, me too. It kind of gets into your head. He's like, I'm not casting this Lingering Souls again because if he rats, I'll have it. And then you just forget. Your brain just goes, stop thinking about it. You're not casting this.
Here's another Tazagar by now.
Yeah.
Is that black mana he's tapped? I didn't see black mana there, right?
Nope. No black mana tapped.
It doesn't matter at this stage. Another swing for 7's going to take it. But that's unfortunate. I think that both of those games were in Simon's reach.
Yeah.
And small mistakes. But that's modern. Small mistakes punish decks. And
absolutely. But this is what we'll get to see. We'll get to see. I'm sure he'll watch back. Simon, well known for watching the coverage back on our Twitch stream and just finding exactly where he missed. So yeah, we're here at Star City Games game night. You can also follow us on Facebook. We're at Serious Business there. We are also on Twitter at Serious MTG. So
Facebook as well. Follow us on Facebook.
Yeah, that's what I said. So
apologies, I thought you said Twitch.
Yeah, that's going to be a way of. Oh, I said Twitch before. It's fine. It's fine.
Apologies. We also have our first podcast coming up on Monday.
Yeah, absolutely. Hosted by myself next Monday, I believe. Monday evening. You can find out about
7 p.m. Greenwich
7 p.m. Sounds good. Yeah, Greenwich Mean Time. It's going to feature yourself, Dan Gilligan, and Will Tolan. We're going to talk about all of the recent tournaments, recent decks. I think our findings with certain draft formats, namely Modern Masters. I think we've all had a good few throws of the dice with that.
Hopefully there'll be a couple more spoilers for us to talk about.
Oh, absolutely. There's already some. I think we'll leave it till Monday as well to talk about some of them.
No, definitely.
They're quite interesting so far. Actually, one thing that I found really funny about the spoilers is one of the big deals was, where did all of these planeswalkers come from? We didn't know the home plane of some of them. And it was like, one of them was, where did Jace come from? And then it was just name of place. And we were like, yeah. It's not any plane we knew before. So we got to see, Simon brought in 4 Thoughtseizes, 2 Scavenging Ooze, and what's that?
That's choke, which is funny, which isn't always great against Daniel. Like, getting 1 or 2 of his lands is probably good enough in the end, but he has a lot of non-basics.
He does.
A lot of non-basics, non-islands, like Glacial Fortresses and such.
Yeah. Does he have any of the filter lands which have been seeing more play? He doesn't.
There's a deck list for one of the guys in the future match.
Awesome.
I think we're going straight to the next turn. That might have been the last game.
Yep.
Dan playing a slow enough control deck. That game 2 taking a while.
Modern, fairly quick format oftentimes.
Our next matchup is going to be Sean Fitz against Daniel Silva.
Daniel Silva, what is he playing? He is playing Burn.
Burn Traditional?
Burn Traditional, the Naya Burn.
Naya Burn, okay, cool.
With 3 Thunderous Wraths and 2 Incinerates.
Thunderous Wraths, I'm not even sure what that does.
And 2 Incinerates.
Incinerate, it's just the exact same as Lightning Strike with Counter Gen.
4 Seeker of the Way.
Seeker of the Way.
And 4 Searing Blazes in the main. Are they often in the main?
Searing Blaze?
Yeah, I thought they were a sideboard card, yeah.
The sideboard thing. What's Thunderous Rat though?
Yeah, I gotta look up
Oh,
that.
is that the Naya Kicker one? Is that the 3 mana deal 3 damage one? And then if you is it Kicker or whatever it was called? We'll get the exact. If our producer could just look up Thunderous Rat there for nice folks at home, but I'm pretty sure it's not Kicker. It was Nalara, whatever it was called. Nalara. The alternate cost you pay for spells to do it basically twice or something to make a big effect. So resounding. No, that's resounding thunder, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
We'll
I don't think
find it.
I don't think there was any effect like that in Alara, but yeah, that's a card I've never seen before. Usually we're pretty up on most of the cards that see play in Modern and all the standard ones, but never seen Thunderous Wrath.
Oh, this will be interesting. But stuff like Searing Blaze, if Sean Fitz is playing the deck he's played week in, week out, it's not going to be very good. You know, against.
I'm going to say actively terrible. A dead card, some might say.
Thunderous Rat deals 5 damage to target creature or player. Oh, it's the Miracle one.
Wow.
Thunderous Rat.
Miracle for 1 red, so no.
Oh, and Sean has changed deck this week. He's playing Tazagar Twin.
And of course he wouldn't give us a deck list. Why would he?
So it's just the normal twin deck, so traditional.
Grixis
Put my
twin,
Splinter
something like
Twin on a Pestermite or Deceiver Exarch to make infinite guys to attack. And it just adds basically Tazagars and Terminates and Colligan's commands.
Yeah. Colligan's command to give you a bit of versatility. You get to get back your Pestermite. Oh no, you don't. Yeah, you get to get back your Pestermites. You get to get back your.
Just so people know, the Sean's list is the exact list that came 6th at the SCG Invitational recently.
Fair. These kind of Grixis decks, either in Delver or Twin, popped up to beat twin decks or other twin decks. So that removal, just to kind of couple with all of your counter spells and that to try and keep people off of that infinite combo, and hopefully you can peter out a bit more advantage with cards like Colligan's Command and your Young Pyromancer. These twin lists have been playing 2 Young Pyromancers recently as well, which is really interesting.
I don't know if this build has any Pyromancers. I don't think it does, but I'm not 100% sure actually.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's certainly very interesting to see, and this is kind of a way of, because all of these Grixis lists have popped up that are so focused on killing creatures, it's actually made Scapeshift a better deck, which is really funny. It won a tournament recently. It won a Star City Invitational, I believe. It was the one that won it, or was it?
I think it was top 8. Something else won the Invitational. Titan Bloom came. Maybe it was Scapeshift first. No, Titan
believe
Bloom
so.
came second. It was Chris Van Meter second.
Yep.
Anyway, guys, with their opening 7, this is going to be much more interesting now that Sean's on Twin. Otherwise, the type of burn deck that Daniel is on would be pretty easy for Scapeshift. Going to get a fetch off Polluted Delta.
Yeah,
Let's see if he takes the full amount. He doesn't know his opponent's on burn yet, I don't think so. Maybe bolts himself before this game begins, and that's a big advantage for the burn player.
Absolutely. So, okay.
Yeah, full amount for a Watery Grave. Probably
Well,
going to see his CERN Visions, or maybe a Thoughtseize here would be big.
And then you're just like,
To 15.
sure. Is it the
Here
thought?
we go. No. Wait. Inquisition, maybe? Yeah, Inquisition. Okay, not as bad. Inquisition, quite good here. You're exchanging 3 damage for probably something that does 3, or you have the opportunity for 4.
Searing Blaze and Incinerate, not great.
Double Boris Charm, though, representing a lot of damage and probably needs to be taken. Searing Blaze is actually quite good in this matchup now,
Yep.
because there's Delvers and a lot of them run 1 Lavamancers, some of them have Pyromancers.
Are they playing Delvers? Not in Twin.
No, sorry, this is Twin. So I meant Pestermite.
Yeah.
My bad.
You're used to Grixis Twin and not Grixis.
Yeah.
Or Grixis Delver.
Unfortunately, it doesn't kill Deceiver, which is quite important.
Yeah.
But killing Grim Lavamancers, killing Pyromancers, killing Pestermites, all
It
important
has
stuff.
targets rather than none.
Opposed to Sakura Tarbelders, which get sacked.
Yeah. And make you feel bad.
Yeah, Boris Charm. So that Inquisition and those fetches basically saving 1 damage.
Sure. And giving you information. Information's important.
Yeah,
But
exactly. Pass the turn here, I think.
Yeah, we've got a Snapcaster Mage in Sean's hand and,
a
a Remand.
New school Remand. We're just going to pass the turn to Daniel, remember to draw there?
I hope so.
Just some kind of correction, I think. 1, 2...
No,
No,
there we go.
he didn't. Okay, so draw of a card from Daniel. Going to see probably Sacred Foundry tapped unless he has drawn himself a bolt. Yeah, Sacred Foundry tapped, and just to pass the turn.
What does he have?
I didn't see the additional card he drew, unfortunately. It's at the end there.
Something
Pretty
of-
sure it's not a land, though. It looks...
No, it's definitely a spell.
It looks red.
Something of note in Daniel's deck is he's got no Goblin Guides.
Expensive magic card.
It is. It's
It's
got
a
more
lava
expensive.
spike actually in Daniel's hand that he's picked up for this turn. No incentive not to fire it off. That remand going to send it back to the hand, but it's probably going to be recast. No, just the passing of the turn. I guess no need to play anything on Fitz's on his own turn when he can play it at the end of Fitz's turn. Here's a Boris Charm. Let's see if it gets met by that remand. No, going to take the full 4.
I think that's fair.
Going down to 13.
He wants
What
to use
is
this
Scotty trying
remand to protect his combo, I presume.
I don't think he's... Like, he might get the mana to do that eventually. He's probably just saving it for... He just doesn't want to tap out on his turn. He's not sure what's in this burn deck. It's not traditional. Here comes a Lava Spike.
I love how forward the lands are by Daniel. He's just like...
Aggressive.
Yeah,
This looks like a man that puts his lands behind... His creatures behind his lands.
he's just like,
Unfortunately.
I have no creatures. Here's what lands I have.
And that's Fitz already a 10. Thinking of firing off that Colgan's command, maybe. Just make Daniel discard a card and
Yeah,
deal 2 damage.
it's not bad. I mean, if...
It's not great though, not leaving up that remand. He's going to fetch here, go down to 9 already. And it's not a great start. He has none of the combo in his hand, as far as I can see.
Yeah, absolutely none.
So the bane of this burn deck would be Fitz firing off Deceiver Exarch here, and just going for it, knowing that 2 for 1 the Deceiver is as good, is worth a lot. Like that much damage here to the Deceiver, but no Splinter Twin yet.
Sure.
Having to double bolt that Deceiver at any point is pretty backbreaking for the burn player. We're going to get an Incinerate to the face, I think here. Skullcrack.
Skullcrack.
Not a lot of life gain in those
No.
colours, so Skullcrack's not bad to fire off. And the Incinerate can at least still kill combo pieces.
Absolutely.
Draw here from Daniel. Fitz at 6, so we could see the game ending here. This remand going to try and save him, but Lava Spike pretty efficient. That's at 3.
Foil Lava Spike.
And cheap.
No, I imagine they're not.
Doesn't have Goblin Guides, but he's splashing out in foil Lava Spikes, huh?
What's going on? Maybe he knows something we don't.
He has to pass the turn here. Fitz can't even afford to flash in that Deceiver. He has picked up the Splinter Twin here, but no land, so it's going to be very hard to steal the victory here. Incinerate. He doesn't have a hard counter. He can only remand it.
Which is not great. I mean,
Yeah, which is probably not good enough. This remand. Yeah, back to his hand. And he doesn't have another remand. He doesn't have a mana leak. This isn't going to get countered again, as far as I can see.
absolutely.
Was that it? Was it Snappy or?
He does have a Snapcaster Mage, I believe, but it's...
That does nothing here. This Incinerate going to go off again.
There's the Seeker out of the way. Is he going to try and
Maybe I got
deploy?
the life total wrong, but I thought he's on 3. I guess he's thinking of playing around a mana leak.
Well, we can count up as well. He's taken 10.
He's taken 3 off his own lands, and 7, 10, 13. Yeah, so he should be dead.
It's on
right?
4.
4?
Yeah.
He's taken 7, 10, 13, 3. Okay, 4. Oh no, he took 4 off his own land. Scalding Tower.
Okay, so
he
he's
is
on
on 3.
Yeah,
And-
you're right. He puts creatures behind his lands.
And
What a character.
Daniel's just going to take his time here with this Incinerate. He's not sure what Fitz could have in his hand, so he's just passing a turn. That might come back to bite him. If Fitz picks up a hard counter of any type here, that combo could be deployed soon.
Absolutely.
Like, Fitz can just win out of anywhere.
Yeah, Sean has 2 Lightning Bolts as well in his hand, I believe. So he's got a Colligan's Command and a Lightning Bolt and a Lightning Bolt. So none of the creatures going to be great. So let's see if this Incinerate does it.
I think it's going to. I don't think he has anything to do about this. If he does, it's a damn shame, because
Snapcaster Remand.
Snapcaster Remand, but he's going to look for Spell Snare off this Remand. Does he get it? No Spell Snare. He's scooping up his cards.
Sure. And this is the power of Burn. I mean, you can just... Sean going to be...
That's unfortunate. No early... If he gets to play an early Deceiver, Daniel kind of has to respect the combo at all times and play around it.
Absolutely.
Because he has to 2 for 1 himself to kill the Deceiver.
So-
But there is no early Deceiver, and he took full bolt off his first land, and while it did save him from being Boris charmed, it...
So, Daniel's sideboard, he has 2 Incinerates, 1 Pyroclasm, 4 Molten Rain, genius, 4 Smash to Smithereens, and 4 Tempest of Light. What is Tempest of Light?
destroys all enchantments.
Really?
That's what I want to say, yeah.
Are you sure?
like 3 mana, destroy all enchantments in play. Is that not Tempest of Light?
Is that a real card?
Yeah, we'll get Alex to check this if Alex could check Tempest of Light. Molten Rain's interesting enough, maybe not on the draw.
Yeah, not on the draw.
Smash the Smithereens, maybe if he's next leveling, because Spell Scouts are probably going to come in from Fitz.
To a degree, let's see. What's Sean bringing?
More Incinerates, maybe?
Sure. I don't mind Incinerate. I mean, with Grixis Twin, the thing I'm always wondering is, like, do I want to play creatures or do I want to invalidate his removal? You know what I mean?
Turbidate coming out from Sean. Reman's not seeming very good in this matchup either.
No, pretty bad.
Are Cryptic's good? I don't know. It's a hard counter at least, but yeah, confirmed. Tempest of Light is 1 and 2 white. 1 white, 2 colors. Destroy all enchantments.
Sure. That's a weird card.
Yeah.
What enchantments are we afraid of?
Leyline of Sanctity.
It's a card.
It gets multiple Leylines of Sanctity.
For the person who's like, I'll put them both out, why not?
Well, you definitely put them both out, right? Because they usually have something like a array set of these decks.
Yeah.
The green ones have Destructive Reveille. It's an instant as well.
I have a feeling Daniel pumps his fist whenever he's like, good, I'm not playing against a white player who has ley lines.
Leylines have become quite popular in the shop over the last couple of days.
Absolutely. They were reprinted as well, which always helps.
Yeah, they were very expensive.
Good old Modern Masters doing its job. For all of people's hate on it.
Were Sean still considering his options? I think I saw a couple of the spells on his board. Some Spell Scouts come in, seemed good.
Yeah, it'd be really interesting what his sideboard is. Unfortunately, we do not have his deck list with us. So if he could actually hold up his cards, if Alex could get him to hold up.
I think he always does, but
He's usually good for these.
no, he's not this time. Oh, it's just not. It's fine. It doesn't really matter. I saw Spell Scouts and spells coming in, Remains coming out.
It's really interesting as well because Daniel is playing only. He's only playing white and red. He's not playing green for Tarkus Command or Destructive Revelry.
Mm-hmm.
He actually hasn't written down his.
Is that only Boris? I thought you said it was Naya.
You know what? Yeah, I thought it would be usually it is Naya.
Oh,
but
you
no,
saw the foothills. And the
Yeah,
sea.
yeah, absolutely. But it's just Boros. So what could be a consideration is, I guess he doesn't want to play any basics. Is Blood Moon, but your favorite card. I know your.
Hopefully soon to be banned, Blood Moon. We won't get into that argument today.
No, that'll be on our podcast, I'm sure.
I'm sure I can have plenty of rants on the podcast.
7 p.m. next Monday.
Next Monday, going live 7 p.m.
Yeah.
And it'll probably be downloadable from then on for people who are in the car.
Absolutely.
Listening.
It'll be in.
Going to work.
Yeah, we will hopefully set it up on iTunes and we will have it on our previous broadcast.
Cost €1 million. And here we go. Blood Crypt and a pass from Sean Fitz.
So we have the turn 1 Monastery Swift Spear, I think might be the one from.
Yeah, Swift Spear are going to be very good here. If Fitz doesn't have a bolt to get it straight away.
What's the ability? The twin lists can also turn into a bolt snap. They can turn into a pseudo burn deck as well.
Well, this is the beauty of the twin list is, as much as it's a combo deck and you have to respect its combo, it's winning a lot of its games just through damage and card advantage.
Absolutely.
They're just all efficient blue-red decks that kind of happen to have a combo finish. Lots of people sideboard out the majority of the combo. Now, he's not going to do it this time. His best way of winning in this matchup is
combo.
It's 100% a combo. But a lot of times they just take out the majority of their twins because it's actually the clunkiest card in their deck. And here comes the Monastery Swift Sphere.
Swing for 1.
And then for 1. Doing its job. This guy, one of the more... a lot of cards from the cons block seeing play in multiple formats. This guy's seeing a lot of play across the board.
Absolutely.
You saw Legacy play also.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a quick look at as he's deciding on this Inquisition here. A quick look at Fitz's sideboard will be 1 Clique, 1 Spellbomb, 1 Karanis, 1 Jace from Return to Ravnica, 1 Dismember, 1 Izzet Stratocaster, 1 Rending Valley, 1 Anger of the Gods, 2 Terminate, 4 Remand, 1 Pestermite. So sorry, this is after he's boarded.
Yeah.
So he's taken out Remands, Terminates and Pestermites.
Sure.
And he added Spell Scouts, some Dispel and another card that I'm not 100% sure of. Just if anyone at home has that list in front of them.
And this is really telling. Inquisition getting rid of the Seeker.
That might mean no removal here in Sean's hand. he has taken out the 2 Terminate, so we're looking at only bots. There's a Spell Guide in his hand, which is going to be excellent next turn, do a great job of blocking. He also picked up a Deceiver Exarch. Yeah, Deceiver Exarch.
Which is another good blocker as well.
Off that Serum Visions, and he's going to try and set up. He doesn't have a twin, so there's a chance both of these are getting bottom. He's just going to, Snapcaster and a land going to the bottom of the deck. And just trying to set up a fast win with that Deceiver Exarch. Because he can Spell Scout next turn, and then the turn after he can Exarch, and if he picks up a twin, the game's just over.
I believe he has another Inquisition in hand as well, which is...
So he's set up very well in this game. Daniel taking 2 here, going down to 17 even.
It's nice being the burn player where you're like, no fear. No fear of my lands. I'll hurt myself as much as I want.
Oh, it's just some confusion. He thought it was the Steam vent.
Sure. So the life total's just been cleared up there. So
probably a Boris Charm going to the head here, just while Sean's tapped out, the most efficient spell to cast.
So he gets in for 6 damage, 4 from the Boris Charm, 2 from Monastery Swiftspear.
And Sean going down to 13. He's taken nothing off his own land so far, right?
Yeah. So Monastery Swiftspear, kind of a lightning bolt.
Kind of a lightning bolt.
A lightning bolt that might do more damage.
Yeah.
Who knows?
So no combo still here from Sean, but this Spell Scout and Inquisition going to clear it away. That's the Thunderous Rat.
I believe so, yeah.
That's probably going to stay in the hand. I think that's 6 mana at the cast if it's not Miracled.
It's a lot. It is a lot.
5 or 6, I cannot remember.
So we have a Skullcrack and a Boros Charm.
Yeah, Boros Charm hitting the deck.
Hitting the bin.
The Grumper, as they call it.
The Grumper?
The graveyard, the Grumper.
No one calls that.
It's a thing.
No, you're making words up.
It's a thing.
So we're going to see the Spell Scout.
The Grizzy as well.
Stop it. So Spell Scout coming down. And here's the interesting thing as well. It's if Daniel draws Searing Blaze.
Searing Blaze is pretty good against the Spell Scout at the moment. But that's the only thing I can imagine that's very good. That Daniel drawing 1 by 1 because Thunder Sats can come at any time. Thunder Sat also a pretty sweet draw off that Spell Scout.
I believe it was a land. But you know what? Sometimes now his lands don't feel like terrible draws because they will get you close to that Thunderous Rat.
Yeah. In for 1 might as well. Skill Tester. That blocks Skill Tester.
Because, you know, it might eat a lightning bolt.
Into the block. So you want to throw the Skull Crack here. And this way Sean has to pay... Oh, he can't pay 2. It just says 2 opponents.
Yeah.
So... But if he had an Incinerate there instead, he'd want to do it now. 1, the Spell Scout would die from the damage. 2, even if the Spell Scout didn't have damage, Sean would have to pay 2 life opposed to 1 blue mana to the life verdict.
Absolutely. I feel like what Daniel's looking for now to deal cleanly with that Spell Scout is the...
Smash the Smithereens.
No.
I think it would be pretty next level if Daniel had brought in his smashes and presumed this was going to how sideboard.
I believe that's a Colligan's command in Sean's hand.
Yeah. Oh, Lava Spike also can't be diverted by that Spell Scout.
But not happy to use the Colligan's command to kill the...
He can now if he wants, but maybe he's just going to wait. Maybe get that Spell Scout back if it dies. He's also definitely deploying a Deceiver Exarch in case he draws a twin just to instantly win.
Absolutely.
This turn. He's going to attack, and I think a Snap Block.
Yeah, well, he knows what's in... he knows that it's a Thunderous Rat in Daniel's hand, so no fear for the block.
Pester Mike can also come in here and put on a clock on the other side of the table here if needed.
Sure.
Because they're about the same. You're not killing it either way.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well get the guy with the more power out, I presume.
Absolutely. It's actually you'd be surprised because of this no fear, I guess, from tapping out for your land, taking a bit of damage against the burn player. You hurt yourself a lot.
Yeah, exactly. This deck is a pretty efficient, just tempo deck, I guess you'd call it, without the combo.
Yeah. Just a quick read of Pestamite seeing. I guess usually seeing it's like it doesn't just untap itself to make more.
It's not just an infinite combo part. Not just a pretty face.
Yeah.
There's the Tazagar also going to help shut down the ground and present a good clock.
And he's got enough land in there to do it for 1.
Do it for 1 and also have a Deceiver Exarch come down. Mm-hmm. Deceiver Exarch can come down in the upkeep and tap down that white source to stop any Boros Charm shenanigans.
Absolutely. So if we could get a life total update as well from our producer, that'd be pretty good. So yeah, he's just gonna do it for 5. He's like, there's nothing in the graveyard that I really care about.
Sean Fitz at 6 life though.
Yeah.
Like spell two
look.
opponent only.
It's pretty
Fifth
valid.
land. So now every land from now on is a
Is-
really good draw.
Well, does Thunderous Wrath only do it to opponents? I don't think so. I think it does to player, or does it to creatures as
Yeah,
well.
but at least it kills the spell scout.
Sure, but with the Tassiger down as well, it's like it's not great now.
You still do it to the face and hope. Sean Fitz missing, maybe tapping down that white source in his upkeep. He hasn't been punished for it at all. It's very hard for him to get punished for anything, but
Sorry, what do you mean tapping down the white source in his upkeep?
well, he knows there's a Thunderous Rat in Daniel's hand, and he has a Deceiver in hand. So he could have tapped down that white card and put him off of Boris Charm for a turn,
Yeah,
which might have been irrelevant. I don't think it's going to end up being, just something he could have done.
yeah. It's actually funny the amount of burn cards that just cannot be redirected by Spell Scout. It's
In this matchup, yeah, it's quite funny because
we've got 4 Lava Spike, 4 Skullcrack, 4 Boros Charm. It's pretty great.
yeah. Searing Blood is a weird one as well.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like just because it still gets the player,
Yes.
no matter what. If you divert it, still gets the player. So that even more,
Is it only if the creature dies though? It is.
I think so.
Yeah.
But if the spell scout's going down, there's no way to protect that 3 damage to the player.
It might actually be
Colgan's command.
discard a card, get rid of that Thunderous Wrath. No more fear.
Yeah, 5 damage not coming your way, and we're getting in here for 8. And I think that's Daniel falling to 5, so it's lethal next turn. Daniel needs some kind of card that I don't know exists. Maybe Rada God, sneaky Rada God.
Lava Spike. So we're going on to the next game.
Lava Spike makes it close. That was 1 card away from winning.
Absolutely,
So that Inquisition saving him again because Boris Charm taken by an Inquisition.
definitely.
That's close. Also, Sean on the draw is probably very different there and probably a loss.
Yeah, absolutely. It means that Spell Scout gets down 1 turn later, and that's a
I
huge
think
game changer.
I think those Smash the Smithereens are getting looked at. Or maybe those Molten Rains on the play.
Yeah,
Molten Rains on the play could be quite spicy, taking out the ability to ever cast Tarzagar sometimes. Maybe forcing Sean to pay full 3 for some of his lands, and also importantly keeping him off the combo.
yeah. I don't think any changes in Daniel. Like the Smash the Smithereens, it's just how many Spell Scouts do you think your opponent's going to have? 2?
3.
3?
Maybe 3.
Maybe 3?
Spell Scout's pretty good. I don't know. I don't know if it's just dead sometimes, I guess, is the big problem. But
You're so efficient, you're so taxed. Like you just have to.
you saw what a Spell Scout did there. Like Daniel definitely drew enough spells to win that game.
Absolutely.
A bit flooded in the end, I guess you could argue, but he definitely had enough spells during the game. I think he's bringing in 2 smashes, if I saw that right.
Yeah.
I would be a fan of the Molten Rains on the play though.
Yeah.
Like keeping your opponent off twin mana, keeping him off Tazgar mana. What's he taking out here?
Like with burn, to really be efficient, you need every card to be doing at least 2 damage. I mean, on average, including your lands.
I'd enjoy 5.
Oh, of course. But then it would just be the best deck in the format, and you just hate Modern more.
I dislike Modern a great amount.
Shh! Don't tell them. It's fantastic.
Keep watching. Never stop watching. It's a roller coaster of emotions in here.
What a time to be alive.
And I think the smashes came in from Daniel. I think he saw how efficient Spellsky can be there. I'm not going to say single-handedly. I think that's going a bit far, but it won Sean that game.
I'm sure.
He sees also that if that spell scout's out, there's nothing stopping Sean from comboing.
Yes.
Like if Sean had ever drawn a twin that game is
Over.
very over very fast.
So it'll be interesting. I hope the Searing Blazes are still in. I know it feels like maybe they're not the best, but I wanted to see that Daniel did fetch for a land fairly quickly, and I'm like, either that's telling of his maybe not knowing the deck as well, to like, because it's definitely something I forget. It's just
Maybe he wants percentages, I guess, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's a tough one, because that might, if I'm Sean, I might be thinking more and more, yeah, he doesn't have he took out his Searing Blazes.
Yeah, maybe it's hard to say.
Because it would have been a pretty decent card at any point during that.
It wouldn't have killed anything is the problem. Like if Sean blocks and spell scout's taken down.
I'm really interested. I'm kind of excited to see if a Thunderous Wrath Does what it needs to do.
Yeah, it would be nice. 5 damage out of nowhere.
Yeah, for the first time we're seeing some
Power in
living
the
souls.
kisser.
So gonna get a keep. Turn 1 fetch. I'm sure getting a Sacred Foundry.
Yeah,
Untapped.
probably. Might see the Swift Sphere again coming into the red zone.
Absolutely. Maybe. It looked like he was coming Lava Spike to the front. Yeah.
You know, the full tree, as we said before, not irrelevant, but most of the time it is this burn deck on the front foot.
Yeah. Going first is just such a huge boon to the deck. It's really where you gotta be. He's got all 3 lightning helixes. It's
So
actually pretty
total,
decent.
that life total not as relevant, as I was
Yeah.
saying. Did he put? Yeah, he put him to play top.
Okay.
He was just saving time here. Put a Delta by Sean into an island. Probably looking at Certain Visions here.
Sure.
And yeah, Certain Visions turn 1. Not willing to take the full amount to make his mana pretty perfect. Looking at Lightning Bolt and Scalding Turn on top
It's
of
an
the
interesting one. If I don't know what his land situation is like. If he
There's
wants
at least one more. He drew a Sulphur Falls for that turn, so...
Yeah, you might want both of these. No, he's going to throw away... Okay, he's going to keep both. Yeah.
Well, he can keep both because the...
Lightning Bolt's
Scalding, no, it was a Scalding Turn.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't need a Lightning Bolt, he can just shuffle it away.
True, very true.
So it's kind of a free keep. Like, you just know the information. That's a Lightning Bolt in Daniel's hand.
Jeez, I almost... I almost thought I saw Goblin Bushwhacker art, and I was like, nope, that's not a card in Modern Aiming.
What's his name? Fabrizio, was it? Was playing that for a while?
In Affinity.
No, that's the Affinity guy. Oh, I forget his name. Francesco was playing the white landfall deck for a while, and he had Bushwhacker.
Oh, sure.
I still don't agree it's a card in the format, but
so
we
got
just got a Lightning Helix to face there while Sean's tapped out, bringing him down to 16 and bringing Daniel back up to 20. Passing him the turn here by Sean, just Scalding Turn. He still has that Lightning Bolt on top, keeping it as an option. Draw for the turn.
So we've got a Monastery Swift
Sphere, which is probably going to be deployed here.
Absolutely.
You get a fetch. And I wish I could tell you this was a sulfuric vortex coming down, but unfortunately I cannot tell you that card is what's being played.
Not actually good in this matchup.
What?
Not great in this matchup. It's fine.
Good in every matchup. That card's insane.
Should be 4 in all of these decks. What are they doing? Okay.
What is scrubs? Anyone who hasn't first picked that in cube doesn't know the joy of cubing.
Card is sick. We do not have it in our cube, I'm happy to say.
And here we go. Swift Sphere. And he's going to attack, and Sean might try and bolt it, and that might be met with a double instant of Daniels, which would be a big game. Yeah, Sean forced to take the 1 in case that is the case. Double bolt would have absolutely wrecked him if he wanted to do it in response there. You can see at least 1 bolt, and in response to fetch, we get a Helix to keep him off mana leak mana. Oh, but he has the Dispel.
Yeah, so solid enough play by Daniel, but
yeah, keeping off free mana and mana leak mana. I like the play.
I feel like not enough people play around the fact the fetches. They aren't instant mana.
No, it happens some amount. It comes up a lot more in Legacy, where there's also a lot of shuffle effects and brainstorm and the like. So responding to something so effect. So if your opponent chooses to brainstorm, they definitely get shuffled in or stuff for.
Absolutely. So yeah, he's gonna have the Sulphur Falls here. Do Lightning Bolt now.
I'll take this opportunity.
Is Serum
Lightning Bolt, I
Visions?
guess.
Oh.
Digress first to see what's up. Maybe there's no need to do that Lightning Bolt. So he was safe from the double lightning, from the double bolt play, and now Daniel down to not a lot of gas, and depending on the top of his deck, probably down to just an Incinerate in his hand, since bolt is probably just more efficient.
Yeah, if I'm
and we're probably going to see a bolt here from Sean Fitz.
Yeah. If I'm Sean, I've got to be pretty happy with how this game has gone.
Yeah, and there's an Exarch in that hand, so twin at any time ends this game.
Yeah, very few of those spells that are in Daniel's graveyard hitting the face, which is just excellent.
Yeah, 2 of them discarded, right? Oh, 1 of them discarded.
One of them discarded, one of them countered.
Yeah. The spell playing a big role there.
Yeah.
And Swift Sphere dead, just the damage being stopped completely. We need to see Thunderous Rat. No, I can't call a shot for my life.
Oh.
Oh, Swift Sphere, pretty good pickup here. Swift Sphere into
Incinerate,
into
that's 4
Incinerate.
damage. Oh no, Incinerate's 3 damage, isn't it?
Yeah, 3 damage. So that ends up being 5 damage on this turn. You're just going to try and be as efficient as possible. Remember, it's the attack. Might as well play as land. And now we're completely to the top of the deck. You know, if Thunder's Wrath is in this deck for a reason, and this is the exact reason.
We need a Hail Mary, we need to cross our fingers and draw a card.
Sound Visions to start by Fitz into a... I think that was a Steam Vents.
Colligan's Command.
Colligan's Command is pretty decent. He can upkeep... He can... After draw step, Colligan's Command here. There's a lot of instants in Daniel's
I
deck,
think he just, if he gets the land, I think he has the 4th land.
So
putting them both
here's
in
a
the
cool interaction. I'm pretty sure you can Colligan's Command to discard a Thunderous Wrath before it miracles.
Oh, that's
Because
pretty
it's a
sweet.
trigger.
Yeah.
But I'd have to check that out, but I'm pretty sure that's a play you can make.
So off the top we have a Seeker.
Oh, here we got a tap. Is this a twin?
Pass turn. He does not have twin in hand.
No, I thought I might have caught a glimpse, but not so far. Draws a card.
Snapcaster Mage.
Snapcaster's going
decent.
to be excellent here as well.
By the way, I also like your Dispel, great card in this form. Great Dispel was Healing Salve. An unplayable card.
Healing Salve was in the same cycle as
Lightning Bolt.
and Accessory Recall.
Yeah, different cards.
Great, all of them.
Oh,
And Giant Growth was in that cycle as well.
yeah. What's the one?
Dark
Dark
Ritual.
Ritual. Why does White get shafted? So often.
You just saw how good Healing Salve was. I have no idea what you're talking about, sir. Healing Salve won the game. Dark Ritual would have not won that game.
You don't know that.
Scoreboard. Sean's still only on 9, so I want to see 2 Miracle cards.
Absolutely.
Sean kept one on top there, right?
I think so. Yeah.
You'd have to imagine that's a twin. I don't think he's keeping anything that's not twin at this stage in the game.
It's not a Thunderous Wrath. So
Ren Volley, if I don't think he has it though. Boris Charm.
it's a good card.
Maybe an attack here as well.
I believe so.
I guess you should have attacked first and seen how he lined up his blocks.
Yeah.
You could have got him with the Boris Charm. That double strike is a thing in the Boris Charm.
It is.
You actually could have got him really hard and killed the Deceiver there.
Dealt 6 damage, gained 6 life.
No, he would have blocked the exact way he's going to block here,
Sure.
and then you could have double striked, and it would have killed the Deceiver and the other guy, and Sean would have been left with no board to your board. And then he can't twin, but now I think Sean's just going to untap and twin.
Yeah. But as well, it's that kind of thing of now Daniel is playing to his out of some of the top decks of some more burn spells.
Yeah. Well, Sean doesn't have the twin. He's not going for it. He's going for another Serum
Serve
Visions.
Vision still digging.
We see an Exarch and an Inquisition on top. Neither of them are going to be good enough. Ship them both to the bottom.
I believe so, yeah.
And we see a Colligan's Command. So we're probably going to get the upkeep Colligan's Command. Trying to kill something and discarding a card.
Maybe get back a Snapcaster. Oh yeah, sorry, I know. What
You could get back a Snapcaster, but you can discard this card. Chose not to discard the card, and this card is now going to your face.
Lava Spike.
This is for the win, I think. No, Sean would be on 2. Sorry, after this resolves.
Sure, but he's got not great blocks again.
Yeah, this by not catching that card in the upkeep, it's going to cost Sean. He needs to get the Snapcaster
So
back.
prowess triggers on the stack.
Yeah,
he's going to kill Seeker.
And now he has good blocks.
Yeah, get back Snapcaster. Yeah, he's pointing out no with prowess triggers on the stack.
Yeah.
Sean going to 2 though. But Snapcaster with Dispel in the graveyard is going to be pretty good. Although, if we get a Thunderous Wrath off the top, that's
Boom.
a sorcery, sir. Isn't it?
Well, Thunderous Wrath just gets cast for Miracle.
Oh, sure.
But
Dispel will still counter if it's an instant.
No, I think it's an instant anyway, but I'm not sure. I can actually check that.
Yeah.
Our producer gave it here to us. He actually didn't say. I think it might be instant. Swift Sphere might as well deploy it here.
Yeah. Not a terrible draw. I mean, It's as good as, like,
No,
you actually don't.
That's a pretty bad draw here. That Deceiver's never getting in.
Sure.
Draw, and there's the twin for the win.
There's a thumbs
That's
up.
unfortunate. I feel Sean missed a beat with the Colgan's command, not discarding after the draw phase. Probably an interaction he needs to learn.
I also think he missed a beat that when we got that 80s arm grab there, that they weren't both flexing their muscles. Pretty
Thunderstrike was an instant, so would have
Dispel would have done it. That's unfortunate.
done it. But yeah, so he didn't really have outs at the end of the game there. Sean eventually finding his twin after digging with a lot of certain visions.
Is Lava Spike not a sorcery? Lava Spike is a sorcery, I believe.
Yes, sorry, you're right. So
Lava Spike would have done
Lava
it.
Spike could have got him. I think that's it, is it?
Yeah, I think so. Everything else is instant. Yeah.
Tempest Delight might have got him. Maybe he has it for this matchup. It kills twin.
That's light is instant speed. Apparently. I didn't know that was a card. Apparently that's a card. That's a card people play.
Never
everyone.
bring Constellation to Modern.
Because you've got a 4-drop that does nothing. 4
Yeah,
drop, draw a card.
Sure.
But yeah, anyway.
So, interesting game there. Very close at the end, to be honest. Sean playing well. Maybe, as I said, missing the Colgan's command play, but besides that, very close game.
So we have the 2 smash to
He
smithereens.
did bring in the 2 smashes in the end.
Just for the 2 Splinter Twin, but it didn't come
Not
up.
Splinter Twin, Spell Skites.
Spell Skites, not Splinter Twin.
It also gets the Batter Skull, as they're pointing out.
They all have S's. S words.
So that's Sean going to 2-0 as far as I know. I don't think he's in chase of the league anymore. I don't think he's anywhere close.
Really? It's gone that far.
I think he might be the 4th now, but I'd have to double check that.
Speaking of the league, every season of Magic, with a new set release, we start a new season for Standard, Modern, Draft,
F&M, so
F&M,
sealed.
which are to get 4 people every season into the Invitational, the Gamersworld Invitational, which is going to be happening in October, I believe, with the release of Battle for Zendikar, which will start off the new season.
Yeah.
And it is going to be 32 players? Yeah, 32 players. And what it's going to... No, sorry, not 32, 24 players.
It's 24?
Yeah, 24, 3 pods.
Sure.
24 players. It's going to be a competition. It's going to be a competition for over 2 days, which we're going to be streaming here. It's going to be Standard, Modern, Rotisserie Modern Masters 2015, and Rotisserie Battle for Zendikar. So far, there's, I believe, over €1,000 has been put into the prize pool for this event.
Yeah, very excited.
Pretty amazing. So that's what people are playing for, and yeah, it's just an excellent event. Now, I've still always petitioned that some of that prize money should be put towards an Intercontinental title belt.
I will have none of this nonsense.
The white one. Either that or the Eagle belt.
When I win this Invitational, if I'm not busy winning the Pro Tour that is on the same weekend,
Sure.
I will be busy going to as many GPs from that prize pool as I can. That is the dream, sir.
No, because you're going to win the lottery and you're going to use some of it to get a Smoking Skull belt.
That's the dream.
That's the dream.
At the end of the day, I think.
But yeah, so it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be in October. We'll have the dates posted up on our board. But yeah, we're going to actually go to a clip now of past games for a few minutes.
Few highlights, and then we'll see you again for round 3.
Absolutely. I love her.
Who's this?
Absolute
Liliana
layout
the
and
Veil?
Deadly Pages are getting more popular as well.
Liliana the Veil?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Liliana's horrible at the moment.
Yeah. The little kid deck as well, playing the Smiters and the Willy Fleas, just
Who
like
came
Ev
up
was
with
saying.
that name?
I know. Little
How,
kid.
how are
I
they
know.
getting away with
I
that?
know, a
name?
little kid. It's
Did-
just all big kid stuff. Like it's all...
No. Do you know why it was called that? It was because it's a little kid deck. They're like, I like green white and I like to play all of my big creatures.
And I can't
They're-
afford Tarmogoyf.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah.
why it was. It was like, I can't afford Tarmogoyf, so it's
Yeah.
little kid.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that's just why it's called that.
Yeah.
Except that now it plays all these hugely expensive cards.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I
still
don't know.
not buying it.
Yeah,
I'm
anyway.
having a laugh at that name, but we'll go on.
I prefer the one Bring Out the Little Kid, where you play Fauna Shaman to search through your deck. So you have to find the little kid. You bring him out. Okay, so it looks like Glenn has a keeper.
Glennon has a keeper, and Gus
Burgess
here
playing
is
today?
on the thing. Yeah, I was just about to go through that. So Gus is playing the big fella, Tassiger the Golden Fang, 2 of in the main, playing 4 Siege Rhino, 1 Olivia Voldaren. Oh yeah, here we go. 4 colour Dragon Control, 1 Olivia Voldaren, 4 copies of Tarmogoyf, 2 Tassiger as we mentioned, 2 copies of Scavenging Ooze. They're the creatures in the deck. We have 4 Lightning Bolts, 3 Lingering Souls, 3 Path to Exile, a Maelstrom Pulse, 2 Thoughtseize, 4 Inquisition of Kozilek, 3 Liliana the Veil, your mana, 3 Abrupt Decays, and then here's the mana base, this should be worth a laugh, 1 Sacred Foundry, 2 Raging Ravine, 4 Verdant Catacombs, 2 Overgrown Tomb, 2 Godless Shrine, 2 Swamp, 2 Forest, Marsh Flats, Wooded Foothills, Windswept Heaths, a Plains, Urborg Turm Yawgmoth, and a Stirring Wildwood.
I love the 3 man lands
This
as
is
well.
hilarious. Yeah, the man lands, yeah,
3
different
mana and
ones.
5 basic lands
Yeah.
for 4 colour deck.
The
Yeah.
greed
That
is real.
ballsy.
The greed is real.
This is hilarious, yeah. Just random stuff like 4 Fulminator Mages to go along with a Fracturing
Oh,
Ghost
no.
in the sideboard.
Inquisition of Kozilek. Yeah, here
Yeah.
we have Gristlebrand, Lightning Bolt, Inquisition, Snapcaster Mage. That Gristle. Yeah, Glennon
That's
laughing
hilarious,
like,
yeah.
here's my
You can
Gristlebrand.
keep the Grizzlebrand. I can't take it, but I don't want to. Yeah, taking Snapcaster here, I think. I suppose if he needs to protect something in his hand from Inquisition, he might take that.
He has
but-
another 1 drop.
I know, he's got a bunch of 4 drops. He's got his Siege Rhinos and his Tassigers. I mean,
yeah.
Inquisition doesn't hit them, but
Okay,
yeah, he's
so he
taking
might have something he
Inquisition.
wants to keep.
Okay.
Liliana not bad against his hand, so if he has Liliana here, he might want to keep it.
So it's going to be Blue Delta.
Plays Fetchland.
Not going to. Yeah, okay. So he's going to have his Lightning Bolt back up.
Yeah, just in case he needs to kill like a Charmagoyf. Scavenging Ooze seems fine. The Lightning Bolt is to me. Big giant target that Gus played on his own creature. He of course knew that the Lightning Bolt was in the deck from Glennon, but I think he's just like, yeah, kill my guy, sure. Next turn I play the Goyf, the actual payoff card.
Yeah. Plus, as well, Glenn has to take 3 to do this. I mean,
Yep.
you know, I mean, this kind of nickel and diming, I suppose it is to a win. It does win sometimes. I mean, you just like, the opponent can look at their life total and go, oh,
Yeah.
I've only got 8 life left.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Raging Ravine you.
Raging Ravine, you're dead.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I guess I am. Oops.
Yes. No, this does seem like a matchup where Fergus would be heavily favoured. Well, should I say the crazy steps he's taken to add every colour in Magic into his deck is favoured. It's the exact type of matchup where doing something like that gives you a big edge.
Except blue. No blue. And there we go. There's the Tarmogoyf. He is a big man.
Oh, he is playing blue. He's playing blue as a splash colour on the Tassiger, so he does feature blue mana somewhere in his
No,
deck.
no.
No, I know he's not actually playing blue mana sources,
Okay, yeah,
but he
yeah.
has the colour blue
It's
in his
there
deck.
somewhere.
It's
yeah.
there somewhere.
We'll give it to him.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, if Gus's Urborg will play a part in Glennon's Resurrection Obliterator plans today.
Very true, yes, very true indeed. Or the Grizzlebrand, with the quadruple
But
black.
look, the Grizzlebrand isn't happening. Let's just get over that
He's
right
never
now.
casting
Like, yeah.
that, just ever.
You don't know that. We can dream, Ev.
Like how many Cruel Ultimatums? 2 of, like that's already too many 8 drops. Like. Actually, I think Cruel Ultimatum is 7, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Still though, it's too many cards that cost 6 or more.
But if Glennon's not hitting a land every turn, he's got 4 to 5 cards in his deck that are just a pipe dream. Like, I don't I don't understand
Gus pointing out
Yeah.
that Glennon couldn't get a basic island with his
True. His
Bloodstained
Bloodstained
Mire.
Mire, yeah. So Snapcaster Mage going for Inquisition of Kozilek. I hope this is not end of turn, Glennon. Unlikely.
you need that blocker. I mean,
That blocker. Oh, the Goyf, of course. The play from Gus was the Goyf last turn. So
and there's a Abrupt Decay Lightning Bolt.
take Decay. Let him keep Bolt.
Yeah,
But what's he
yes.
protecting from Abrupt Decay here?
His Snapcaster Mage, I guess.
That's it. Does he have anything after board that he needs to protect here? Oh, we don't see a sideboard from Glennon.
No, we do. He's
we
got
do.
4 Inquisition of Kozilek, 2 Erebos, 3
Spreading Seas.
3 Spreading Seas, 3 Bituminous
Bituminous
Blast. Absolutely,
Yeah.
3 Rakdos Charm.
Spreading Seas. Gus
Um,
is playing a ridiculously mana heavy or land intensive deck. Maybe he brought the Spreading Seas in and doesn't want it to get decayed.
Sure.
Okay, that's the only reason. Otherwise, I'm letting him keep that Decay and taking the Bolt. Because that Goyf is going to beat hard here, so...
Yeah, slaps.
I don't know, if my opponent is like take a turn to Spreading Seas one of your
Yeah,
land,
I'm not
you're
saying
like
it's the best play, but
deadly.
I'm definitely taking the bolt there, 100%. Like, it's likely that whatever you
Terminate.
let him keep, he's just going to use the kill dog blocker and get in, but still, there's no reason to let him keep bolt. Like, if he attacks, do you just jump once, and then you haven't dealt with the guy, and then you still have 3 extra damage you have to deal with? So,
There's those lovely full art terminates.
ew.
I think he's just playing them because he's like, I've got full art terminates, I'll just play them. No murderous cuts for me. None of these more prime removal spells. None of that. Full art terminates.
Yeah.
So yeah, Gus has 1 card in hand. I mean,
we know what it is, do we? No, we didn't see that one.
no, he's 2. Okay.
I was just about to say, if he draws a land, he really wants it to be a Raging Ravine, and there is the Raging Ravine.
Spreading Seas on the Raging Ravine.
So he did side in against the Manlands, the Spreading Seas. So
By the way,
nice play. He gets a cycle too.
Glennon is 5/8 of the way.
Another man.
5/8 of the way to Gristlebrand.
He is. True. And Gus probably doesn't have an awful lot in his
Here
deck
it
to
comes.
take care of it.
6/8 of the way to
Oh
Gristlebrand.
my god, wow.
There's no way. There's no way.
This is
Am I going to
hilarious.
eat my words live on TV?
I will be so delighted if he plays a Grizzlebrand and just gets there. It'll be hilarious.
Flashback, Snapcaster, Mage, kill your Terminate your dude. Yeah, gotta be.
Yep.
Yeah, seems fine. to
And
me.
it's only a planes in hand for
Boom
Gus.
shakalaka.
Oh,
No.
oh
This is
wait,
hilarious.
planes in hand for Gus is all he has left.
I feel like Gus needs to be sanding a Liliana if he draws one here. Does he? Just to
imagine
take
so,
care.
yeah.
Well, okay. Now that he's played the Snapcaster Mage, he probably can't, which is kind of what I was getting at. But if he had a Liliana, does he kind of just need to sand it just in case Glenn draws the 8th mana and just plays the Grizzlebrand?
Spreading Seas on his Sacred
his
Foundry
white
draw
red,
card.
okay.
Oh, they're 7/8 of the way.
Oh my god.
We're gonna see it.
We're actually going to see this.
Will it happen?
Please. This is going to be the greatest thing.
Glennon heralded as a genius.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I hope all the fans at home are as delighted to see that.
Yeah, like I've actually never seen this where your game plan is strictly hard
Hard
cast
cast
the Grizzlebrand. Like he's no way to cheat this into
Did
play.
Glenn not play a land that turn? I don't think he did.
Don't you dare sand lands.
Don't.
that,
Hell,
that can't be real.
if I was Glenn, I just wouldn't even be playing.
No,
I
he
would-
did. You're right. He sanded a land. He actually just didn't play his land last turn. What was he
I
thinking?
assume that was a
Glennon,
mistake.
come on now. We need to see you hardcast this. I'm not happy with. I'm not sufficiently happy with Snapcaster beatdowns.
Okay, we have a land and a bolt.
Accidentally
Had the
shown.
cryptic command.
Accidentally shown.
I would actually stop attacking with the Snapcaster Mage just so that I'd have more time to play with the Grizzlebrand.
Yeah, it's like just pass the turn with the Snapcaster. I was like, any attacks? No.
Wow, just
So Gus is not
3,
thrilled with this.
Gus has about 4 lands in hand. It looks like.
no, don't electrolyze him. You want to cast Grizzlebrand?
Is it the land? Come on now.
Gus has
Come
a
on
bolt.
now. Don't
Land,
slow roll
yes.
it, Glennon. Don't slow roll.
Okay, and we're back from the highlights clip. You're joining us here in round 3 of Wednesday Night Modern Gamersworld, brought to you by Serious Business. I am David Murphy, and this is.
Eamon Jones.
And here we have our tied third place bracket.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Both players at 2-0 as far as I know.
Yeah.
And we have Greg here on the left. He's been playing Titan Bloom for quite some time.
Yeah.
Still on the same list. And we have to our right our PPTQ winner,
Yeah.
Kirill,
Kirill Slotka
playing
versus.
Escape Shift as he does most weeks. And we have an updated list this time from him.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we've got Kirill Slotka in the right and Gregor Jedrzejewski on the left. So it's going to be pretty interesting. Greg has picked up this deck, the Primetime the Bloom Titan deck, pretty much straight after it came to fruition at the
Pro Tour. It came
recent Pro
second in
Tour.
Pro Tour,
Yeah, absolutely. And he just was like, yeah, this is what I want to do in Modern. Before that, he was playing kind of Modern Mono White Knights. But yeah, it's really cool that he found this
Yeah,
deck. And,
it's a cool deck. I got some experience there with it in the recent PPTQ in Dublin.
yeah, it's always nice when it's not a flash in the pan. You know, it is actually a real deck.
Yeah, I never really thought it would be, but it's actually pretty consistent and sustainable, and has a lot of interesting play to it. Vesuva and Blood Moon made me college age 6 times in the one round for different questions and interactions. But
Oh yeah,
here we'll get to see the openers and see if they keep.
so we've got 2
Double-
gemstone mines.
This is perfect.
And
A bounce
amulet.
land. If he gets a bounce land, yep. Literally the perfects.
And a Summoner's Pact.
And
And
a
a Hive
Hive
Mind.
Mind.
He's got it all.
Got it all. This is the absolute perfects for Greg. He can get a turn.
Does he have a Summon Blue?
Yeah, he has some. That's the white border.
Oh yeah, it is. He has it all. And Kirill is
This,
going to 6.
This hand is a turn 2 Primeval Titan.
Wow.
Turn,
That's
turn 2 Primeval Titan, and you can give it haste and swing for 8, but then you will lose not being able to. No, you will still be able to pay for your Summoner's
yeah,
Pact.
because you get all that mana.
No, but you have Gemstone because of Gemstone.
Sure.
You can do it. So he can get a hasty Titan on turn 2 and swing for 8, and pay for his Summoner's Pact
Absolutely.
on his upkeep.
Does that sound good? That sounds pretty good.
Nah, it's probably mediocre. Just Pester might tap it down next turn.
Yeah.
Just upkeep.
That's true.
Pester might tap down your Titan.
Game's over.
Game's over. Next turn twin. No, I think he's on the play here as well, so there's absolutely nothing. Kirill has to have a spell snare, which he doesn't have in his list anymore.
I do not believe. Hold on, let's see. No. No
Doesn't-
spell snare.
No spell snares anymore. He's replaced them with stuff like lightning bolts for more creatures eccentric meta that this
Got a
shop has.
singleton repeal. I like it.
Yeah, it's a nice main deck answer to solid hate cards.
Yeah. I do not know how Greg isn't like winning year to year.
He was when he was peeling his cards. He stopped at 6 because he didn't need any more. Those 6 cards
Look,
were
there's
perfect.
the smile. Oh, he's just amuleting.
Yeah, he Titans next turn. Next turn, draw.
Sure,
So you
that's
go
a stomping ground.
bounce on Summer Bloom.
Oh no, that's not a stomping ground. That's a Ghoul Turf.
Yeah, he already had the bounce hand.
What am I talking about?
Bounce hand, untap, Summer Bloom. What? Oh, he has the other bounce hand. It doesn't matter what he bounces here. This is all semantics.
Yeah.
Bounce, Summer Bloom, do it 3 more times, 6 mana. Summoner's Pact Titan.
This isn't
Did-
how
you-
these
did-
cards were meant to interact.
No, I do not think that this is. I think they thought of this. I didn't think they think it would be so powerful. I don't know if they saw Summer Bloom was still a thing.
yeah.
Oh, he got the pact as well. Sorry, it's
Yeah,
just a
yeah,
turn
I
to
was just
win.
like-
Oh, my bad.
And that's game.
And that's game. It was the Hive Mind. So
Sorry,
that's
what were you
the-
trying to do? Are you trying to get to 7
Titan.
lands? I just got 2 lands, and then I won.
I was thinking of Titan. I completely forgot he had the Hive Mind.
Yeah,
And that-
I
that's
was
just
just
the turn 2 win and what the stack can do.
So, let's see
I did
how
that
can.
0 times.
Wow. How can. Wow, what a time to be alive. So, Kirill has a sideboard. He's got 2 Dispel, 2 Anger of the Gods, 2 Obstinate Baloth, 1 Negate, 1 Infernal Titan, 1 Vendilion Click, 1 Teferi, 1 Ancient Grudge, 1 Roast. Wow. 1 is a Staticaster, 1 Croson Grip, 1 Shatterstorm.
So you're probably going to bring in your. See, I say grudges. I never like grudges in this matchup.
Yeah.
You're always going to get at least 1 trigger off that amulet anyway.
Yeah.
So it's not fantastic. The spells seem pretty good here.
Croson Grips are.
No, the spell is only instant, right?
Yeah, it's only instant.
So
Like Negate?
negate is a definite, and then after that, like you can bring in some amount of ancient grudge just so you can kill the amulet.
And if
On
you're
the
scared
play.
of the Hive Mind combo, I guess you might bring in Dispel.
No, it's-
maybe.
it's bad.
Maybe. They see maybe. You got to think of the maybes.
When I was playing this weekend, I thought that Scape Shift was a really good matchup for me.
Yeah, I probably.
I think it is.
So in Greg's sideboard, he has 2 Swan Song, 1 Hornet Queen, 2 Engineered Explosives, 1 Slaughter Pact, 1 Dragon Lord Dramoka, 3 Ancient Grudge, 2 Pyroclasm, 3 Leyline of Sanctity.
Well, the ley lines probably come in because Kirill is going to be so preoccupied trying to deal with what Greg is doing.
If you just land a Leyline, it's just like, oh,
He might also not. Yeah, he might not have time to deal with a ley line
absolutely.
and combo himself. So Kirill is going to be in this awkward spot, and this is why I don't like Twin as much as Scape Shift. This is why I don't like Scape Shift as much as Twin.
Sure.
Where he's trying to set up a combo while stopping this faster combo deck
Yeah.
from comboing. You know, it's not great. He has to rely on counter spells to do so. Where counter spells aren't great, you might see this Dragon or Dramoka even come in from Greg.
What do you think of the Swan Song?
It's probably fine, right?
Also, funny enough, with Greg's deck is
Stops Hive Mind.
compared to other modern decks that have to pay fetches, shock lands, and take damage from it, Greg will always be on 20. Kirill will have to go up to 8 lands to
Yeah.
Scape Shift.
Greg taking out the Hive Mind combo here. Not entirely sure I agree with that, but you know, after game one,
What can you take out? Like if you're
well,
going to be
not
putting
only
in,
that, but you're fighting so much over stuff that the Hive Mind combo is always a 2 or 3 card combo, where the Primeval combo is
Primeval
I'm
Titan.
just putting Primeval Titans on the board in game 2.
Yeah, I
He's
think,
taking out the slaughter packs, which don't really have targets.
which is great.
Even if the Deferi comes in, it's not something you're going to
Yeah,
be doing.
he's got one slaughter pact, so that's what he's going to be taking out. And
He might take out some pact of negations now that he doesn't have my Hive Mind, but his pact is still good.
absolutely,
I don't know if I like taking out Hive Mind in this combo, because Krill will have some trouble with the Hive Mind combo.
yeah.
Like, even though he can't technically pay for summoners packs, like, you can just set up having multiples. But I guess the prime time combo always has. Does he have the Cavern of Souls to get?
Yeah, he does.
He has the one Cavern of Souls, which
2 caverns.
2 caverns in the main. Jeez.
Yes,
It's heavy.
it is.
But
Well, in fairness, in this shop, there's a lot of blue meta. Like
yeah,
the-
maybe I haven't played that much in the shop, so. But maybe they're necessary. But Krill's gonna have a hard time dealing with that Titan once it's in play, let alone if it's uncounterable.
Actually, what's really funny, on Kirill's behalf, if it gets to a point where he can cast Cryptic Command, and Greg tries to go off with Hive Mind, he can go Hive Mind Pact. Kirill before it passes to. Oh wait, no. So it's still kills.
All the opposite players' spells
Yeah.
or it's all first.
Yeah.
So if Kirill Cryptic commands, Greg is going to get the Cryptic is Cryptic, correct?
Yeah, either way. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I was like, oh, you get to bounce the Hive Mind and then the opponent, and you pay for it and your opponent has to. But no, that doesn't quite work, unfortunately.
Cryptic does have the upside of sometimes catching him where if Greg were, say he didn't have the Hive Mind in the last game, similar situation, of course, Kirill's going to have a lot more lands. Kirill can bounce lands before packs are paid for,
Yes.
which can instantly win the game. So Kirill's going to be on the play this time, and that's going to make a massive difference. It's going to be a lot harder to turn to a combo when your opponent has 2 mana up.
And
Here we see a Swan Song that's sideboarded in from Greg, Serum Visions, Ancient Stirrings, and another Ancient Stirrings. So a lot of card selection, but none of the actual combo, and not being able to play anything till turn 3 because your blue and green source come in on turn come into play tapped.
Yeah,
So he's gonna mulligan, especially if he's brought in ley lines. He's also mulliganing for a ley line, which gives him infinite time. That hand, fine maybe if you don't know what your opponent's on, but knowing he's also a combo deck, giving him 3 free turns before you play a thing is probably just not good enough, you know?
Yeah, really, I'm trying to see, there was something really interesting. Yeah, Gregor does have the 1 Simian Spirit Guide, so he does have the potential. These people
More consistent turn 2 wins.
Yeah, but less consistent rest of the game, that's the kind of debate people are having. It's like, you can potentially, can't you potentially turn 1 win?
With Simian,
Yeah, you can potentially turn 1 win with Simian Spirit Guide.
The exact same way you saw him win on turn 2 there.
But the problem is, if you draw it late game and any other one, it's just a bad card to draw. But Gregor on the side of, no, I want to be more explosive. So we have the Amulet.
Or here's a ley line, Amulet, and Summer Bloom. I don't think you can mulligan this. It doesn't have any card selection, but it has the ley line.
Yeah.
So he's bought himself a lot of time, and he just gets to turn 1 Amulet here again.
Yeah.
Now he's desperately looking for something like a Serum Visions to set up something, or if he just natural draws a Summoner's Pact here.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty great.
It's going to be pretty great. I'd be pretty bitter. My opponent went to 6, had the ley line, and the turn 2 Titan. But
that's the power of this deck. I mean, sometimes it spins its wheels a lot and doesn't do anything, but other times it just has it.
I think it's a lot more consistent than people give it credit for after playing it.
Yes.
I never found myself in trouble of actually getting the combo once I mulliganed and played correctly.
Sure.
Sometimes it just wasn't fast enough with certain hands.
Yeah.
But I was still going to go off on turn 4 most of the time.
Yeah.
If unchecked, it's just that decks in Modern don't let you go unchecked a lot. And it is a deck that has a turn 2 win.
Absolutely. So,
sorting out the pen top situation.
Pen ownership.
And here's an Ancient Grudge to stop any explosive starts, and this puts Greg back a lot. Just having lands in hand now. As I said, Kirill's still a while away from comboing with that ley line in play, but
there's no land. This deck plays a lot.
No, that was a Primeval Titan off the top.
Is it?
I think it was at the left of his hand, so that means that would have been a turn 2 Titan if.
Oh.
I don't know if he would have went for it because there's also a Vesuva in Greg's hand.
It's gonna bloom.
Gonna bloom. This is an interesting bloom. Just gonna play that. Just play his other 2 lands and just have Titan mana next turn? Is
I think
that how
that's
it's going to
it.
go about?
Talaria West. And
See, this is
Gemstone.
interesting because there's a chance he could have kept the Terraria West. And yeah, that is a Titan in his hand. What he could have done is next turn, he could have transmuted for a Cavern of Souls, and that Primeval Titan's coming down no matter what then.
Sure.
But,
Well, he's still 1 land drop off of being able to Titan.
2, 3, 4, 5. He is still 1 land off being able to go off Titan. Either way, he's still 1 land off of going off Titan now. And now Kirill has to make the decision. Yeah, he just passes. He could have.
Second ley line.
Second ley line isn't bad. Committing that to the board here.
I don't mind deploying it. I mean,
Like,
you're usually going to be able to bounce the Gemstone Mine. It's
I guess Echoing Truth is a card, and sometimes if one's coming up, both are coming up.
I can't remember. Does Gemstone Mine sacrifice once you lose the
Yeah,
counters?
it does. It's still
Ooh.
so you can go down to 1 counter on 1, but then he's never using that one again until a land comes up for prime time.
I think he has time. I don't think he like.
I don't mind playing it. Like, it's probably going to force a response from Kirill, especially if he's not actually playing Echoing Truth in his deck. If he's playing one of the other bounce spells, like if he's relying just on Cryptic Command to bounce these ley lines because he has 4,
Or repeal.
or Repeal instead of Echoing Truth, the second ley line is actually a massive hindrance.
Yeah, he actually he's no Echoing Truths.
So he might consider remanding this, but remanding this means he only has Cryptic to get a Titan next turn. I think he's still advantaged. This is why I like maybe transmuting that Terraria West for a Cavern of Souls and guaranteeing yourself a prime time, which Kirill has a very rough time actually dealing with.
Absolutely.
And he's just letting it resolve. He's not remanding it.
And he's going to have a pure 2 depths.
I guess he's saying with this remand and with this Cryptic in hand, I have so much time to set up
Absolutely.
set up bouncing both your ley lines before I win, and I know you don't have any disruption.
So he found land. Oh, he's a Desolate Lighthouse. He has a Desolate Lighthouse?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm such a fan. Yeah, he's got 1 Desolate Lighthouse.
You gotta wonder, does Greg have... Did he bring in that Dragon Lord Dramoka, which I think would have been quite good in the matchup? Because as you say, he stays at 20, and a couple hits from that and you're out of range of anything that isn't double value cutting for 32 and stuff.
Yeah.
And he can't counter it, and once it's in play, Kirill doesn't have a good way of dealing with it besides Crypticing back to hands.
Kirill has a Valor Cut in hand. Anticipate a remand.
No
and
Scape Shift yet. Oh, what's that from Kirill? Greg. Is that another Titan? There's a Gemstone.
Yeah, he bounced the Gemstone Mine using his Simic Growth Chamber. So he's going to Ancient Strengths. This is going to see if, like, he can cast Primeval Titan right now, but he's just going to see is Kirill going to stop the Ancient Strengths. But
he wants to get an Amulet, because if he gets Amulet, if he plays a Primeval Titan, he gets to also give it haste by getting a Boris
there's
Scarce.
that third ley line of Sanctity.
Be happy to see that going to the bottom. But here's the Amulet he's looking for, and this might make him go for the Titan. But I don't know how wise it is just to go for the Titan without having one of those 2 Cavern of Souls. It is certainly fine to go for the Amulet and see if Kirill bites with the Cryptic on that.
Yeah. Does he have Cryptic?
Yeah. He has foil Cryptic.
Oh, that's why it's difficult to make out. Sure.
And he's just going to blow a Titan. I do not agree with this play. I'm going to say this is a really vulnerable play. This Cryptic command is going to leave... I'm pretty sure it's Cryptic. Maybe it's not. He's just remanding. Maybe it's a repeal. But just running it into counter spells is not what you want to do here. You want to set up having a Cavern Souls, or you at least want to only do it when you have that Amulet also in play. You can give it haste the turn that happens and put a serious clock on.
Absolutely. So here we have the. So he's going to get another Peer 2 Depths from the Anticipate, putting an Electrolyze and an Island to the bottom.
Again, Kirill very firmly in the driver's seat, having a Peer 2 Depths for more card selection. He's going to keep chipping away with the Sakura Tribelder. Very slow clock, but a clock nonetheless.
It is. Maybe this is how he gets him down to 17.
Yeah. Maybe this is just how he kills him. He's just going to have counter spells for days, and Gregor only has 4 Titans in his deck.
He can't counter days. It's not in the form.
No. All day.
All day.
Is that a Summoner's Pact picked up by
Looks
Greg?
like it, yeah. So he's got a...
If it's a Summoner's Pact, we get to see if he has Dragon Lord Dramoka. Because with the Summoner's Pact, he's jamming it for Dragon Lord Dramoka here.
So he's just going to go for Titan again.
Just go for Titan again. And again, I'm not a fan of this play at all. Maybe I missaw. Maybe there isn't a Cryptic, but I was pretty sure there's a Cryptic in Kirill's hand. Even if there isn't, and he resolves this. I do not agree with the play that Greg has made.
If he peered through depths,
There's escape shift that he needs to eventually win this game anyway.
yeah. If he peers through depths, just his bad manners, not crypticing already. I'm like,
No, you give yourself
I don't-
options. No?
yeah, I don't think he has it.
Did he fail to search with this Titan? Yeah, he's failed to search.
Oops. Yeah, Greg is like, oh,
Failed to search.
I wanted to get my amulet because he was like, yeah, it resolved. But you know what? It resolving is
See, this is pretty bad. He's also forgotten to...
he doesn't get
He
to
doesn't
swing.
have haste, Greg. Doesn't have haste.
Greg, what are you doing?
This Titan...
Untap that Titan. Pass
So,
turn.
it's obvious that there is no cryptic command in the hand here. Untap that Titan, Greg. Come on, buddy. He's gonna counter the amulet. Is there a point in countering? Why is that amulet?
Why is that
in the
amulet
graveyard?
in the graveyard?
Can we get the producer? Oh no, there was a flashback ancient grudge. Okay,
Okay.
so the amulet did nothing.
Ancient Grudge is in speed? Oh yeah, it
Yeah.
is, yeah.
So here we get a land, and I think that's only a repeal in his hand. So, I don't think Greg has played this well, but he's getting pretty rewarded for just slamming this Titan. And
Swing
we're gonna
the
go
Titan.
to attack, and we're gonna go to a search.
So we're going to get a Boros Sunhome and a Boros land.
No, because they don't come into
Oh,
play
no.
on top now.
Without amulet, yeah.
You might still get them, but I'm a fan of getting at least one Cavern of Souls here for every other one of your Titans.
Or for dragons.
Your Dragon's uncounterable anyway.
Oh,
That's what you're bringing
yeah.
in. Not the cities, I think.
But you also just get the name Elder.
What?
It's an Elder Dragon.
Okay.
You see, you just get to say Cavern for Elder. And
No,
they're like, what?
You Cavern for Giant, man. No one knows Primeval Titan's actually a Giant,
Yeah, not a Titan, yeah.
not a Titan.
Because Titan's not a type.
So we're probably getting a bounce land to get that gemstone back into our hand, or that Vesuva.
I know
And
because...
maybe a Sunhome.
Yeah, I know because I've got a 5-color giant CDH deck. I don't. That's not true.
The only 5 Giants are the Titans. I just have a 5-color deck.
Progenitus is a giant one.
Okay, so what's Greg gonna bounce with this Simic Growth Chamber?
The gemstone one.
It might be not the Vesuva, the Tellurian West.
Oh, okay. I can get
'Cause
mine.
you can search for Sunhome. Yeah, he's considering. His mana's pretty sorted here. The only thing Tellurian West is making is white. He's gonna get it anyway.
Gemstone one.
Then I'm not a fan of what he searched for. Like, why isn't the Sunhome in play then? Maybe or.
It's really funny.
Okay, now this is gonna come back to hand. That play now makes a lot more sense. But now he doesn't have white mana on the board to activate Sunhome if he plays it next turn.
Oh, why bother?
Mm.
It's well, no, because he's gone. It's really funny because
There's so many small interactions with this deck, and you could argue up and down about the plays he's making all day. He's gonna get a Pact of Negation, which is a fine get here as well.
well, gemstone mine when he gets it down will make white mana.
Yeah, but the Sunhome will be in play tapped,
Right.
but it's fine. He's setting up to protect this Titan. My line of play was setting up to win next turn. I guess if that Titan got to attack, and both those ley lines are still in play, there's very little way that Krill's actually winning this game.
Yeah,
I must have got it completely wrong. I don't know what that card in his hand is.
it's a
definitely
repeal.
not-
It's a foil repeal.
It's a foil repeal. It's very hard to see because it's foil. Apologies to the people at home for misleading them.
It's really funny. All these crew lands were actually people were finding it difficult to pick them up because people picked them up for EDH before, but now with Modern Masters, just they're everywhere.
Yeah, they're also now nothing where they were like €2 or €3 before each.
Yeah.
Pains to order, end up spending €12 in this common land.
Yeah, but the foil ones have the watermark and it looks fantastic.
It
So
does.
you can either pay up to really pimp your deck, separate your set boys.
So Kirill has got rewarded for his ballsy playing, learning that Titan into open mana a couple of times. Greg. Kirill not having the counter spells,
And like
even though he peered, anticipated, remanded, he could not find a counter spell for that Titan, which I think might be a tad unfortunate.
yeah, it is pretty unfortunate.
He's running 4 cryptics.
It is. So he's gonna peer through or search for tomorrow. Just hard casted, doing it hard way.
I like the way Craig looks at his hand, like he's considering that Pact of Negation. So we're gonna get a Titan.
But hold on, he didn't search for tomorrow.
No, I think he desolate Lighthouse.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, no,
okay,
that makes sense. And then he played the land and passed the turn. Look at those lightly tapped lands. Barely tapped.
Barely tapped.
At a 45-degree angle. What's this nonsense?
Summoner's Pact, and this one's going to get a Titan.
Titan or Dramoka?
I'd probably go for Titan. That first Titan resolve.
I'm sure Alex was just like, tighten up your tapping of land there, Kirill. Just to rub salt in the wounds that is this game.
Well, we saw, not Kirill's fault, but we saw maybe his tapping of mana lightly getting in Sean's way of winning last week.
Oh yeah, of course.
The miscommunication between them. Sean thinking Kirill only had 7 lands, Kirill actually only having 8 and having 2 untapped at the end of the sequence.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you do have to communicate well about that stuff with your opponents. It's about your responsibilities.
Yeah, so he's looking at the Dramoka and the Primeval Titan. It's like, do I want peanut butter
I think they're...
or Nutella?
You definitely just get the Titan, because the Titan is still uncounterable because of that gemstone. And then you'll have enough mana to pay for your Pact and Negation and your...
Because of the cavern, yeah.
And because, you'll get enough mana to pay for your both your packs and your upkeep if Kirill somehow... I don't know, he'd have to have exactly Echoing Truth into Escape Shift here, but... Because he doesn't have 4 mana.
And the 2 different Primeval Titans. Is that bad manners?
Don't present your deck if you're just going to attack with that Titan. If you're going to play a Titan that's uncounterable, then attack with another Titan. Just tell your opponent that's what's going to happen, and don't shuffle and present your deck every time. Save the people at home precious minutes of their time.
Yeah. It's pretty funny.
Here, now we're going to get the Boris
I know, man.
Boris
You get
Sanders
extra points for bad manners, right?
PM.
Absolute PM.
It's experience points, right? It's like Hearthstone.
Yeah.
So we're going to get the Boris Land into play in the Sun Home just for double striking goodness if it comes to it next turn. Probably getting that Cavern of Souls back to hand.
So you can replay it naming Elder Dragon.
Yeah, for sure.
To make it double uncounterable. Oh, that's a foil Boros land.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Sure is, Cotton.
But it doesn't have the... But
Don't cut his deck.
I think
He's
it's...
just going to attack. He's just going to attack.
At this stage, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I think Kirill should have just tapped it. Be like, yeah, whatever. You're going to hit me anyway.
And it's returned to his hand. Maybe he'll forget the attack. I guess Kirill has to go through it because Greg might forget the... And here come the Titans.
He's got trample.
Yeah.
Blocking his Scourge Hive Elder. Does nothing.
Oh! Blocks were announced. No, he's letting him away with it. The presenting and cutting of this deck, 3 occasions, was ludicrous.
I hope he knows that he is taking a full 6. Primeval Titan does indeed have trample.
He hasn't sacked it. He's saving himself 1 damage here.
No, he's not. Oh, is he? Oh, he hasn't sacked it. He hasn't got the land. Yeah, okay.
And replaying that Cavern of Giants.
Game.
No, that's game.
GG. Oh, Greg.
Oh, that was
quite a slobber knot. What a time to be alive.
What a time to be alive. Turn 2 win on the play by Greg. Nothing Kirill could do. And then jamming Titan until counter spells ran out for Greg in game 2. Kirill cannot deal with a Titan very efficiently once it's on board. And those ley lines stopping Kirill from ever comboing off. And our PPTQ winner Kirill has gone down 2 games to 0.
So we can see he brought in a negate, he brought in
a clique, of course.
Yeah.
Especially if you're I guess there's at no point you can if they Summoner's Pact you can get it. I guess they always hold priority. Because you Summoner's Pact and you get it, but then it's their priority, so you can never.
Yeah.
If they're stupid enough to like Summoner's Pact and go to attacks, I guess.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, not that tight of a game at all.
No.
The most interesting decisions came off what to fetch from Titans, and maybe my blunder in not knowing that he had to win on turn 2.
Yeah, because I saw the hive mind and I was like, yeah, he's got it all. And you've got like, yeah, Summoner's Pact. Let's get a prime time. And I was like,
you know where my mind is. I just completely blanked on the hive mind as the last card.
And the reason to have 3 of those in the deck.
There's 4 of them in the deck. I like that.
He plays 3.
That was a travesty.
He does not deserve any of this.
I am not going to sugarcoat that at all. Greg is not a bad Magic the Gathering player, but 3 Summoner's Pact is what I would call a travesty to humanity.
Will he be like, well... Anyway, yeah.
Yeah, he had the perfect 6. He had getting Titan on turn 2, and the 7th card was the hive mind for the turn 2 win.
No, he actually had that in his opener.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, sure.
He went 6. He peels 6 cards very slowly, and it's the perfect 6. It's turn 2 Titan. I'm like, oh, Kirill's gonna have some real trouble dealing with that. I don't think he even can. 7 card high point, doesn't matter, game's over. I'd show my opponent, I'd play face up.
I'm like, how do I play this today?
And here we get the cyborg.